Right when you.
I was getting ready to take another bite, so I guess that was.
Welcome, YouTubers. We are live. And for everybody else, here comes the music.
Okay.
Wednesday, May 30th. This is episode 019 of The Bread's Kitchen. We are in the kitchen tonight. Special guest in the house.
Ooh.
And first off, Bread, how you doing today?
I'm always great. I'm even fucking better today.
Why are you better today?
The master of cool is here.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't said that in so long.
I sure miss it.
You do?
Oh, God, yeah.
Me announcing you?
Yeah.
Or just fighting in general?
Everything about it.
Everything about it?
Yeah.
Well, man. You know, I was talking to Kenny Letts today about I was at 864 Championships this past weekend. And somebody, not going to call any names, asked me what I thought about the show. And I was, for once in my life, going to keep my mouth shut and not give my too honest of an opinion. But I did have to say that I thought their announcer sucked.
How did you say that? Did you say it in so many words, or did you just...
Oh, hell, I don't know how to say
They
it.
probably
I
just
know.
said your announcer sucks.
Yeah, the announcer sucks. And they was like, well, what do you mean? He's blah, 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 blah. And I was like, he has to read off cue cards. I was like, man, I hate that shit.
He doesn't have the spirit.
Who was doing the announcing down there?
I don't fucking know, man. It looked like looked like Willy Wonka and Where's Waldo, like, combined.
Were they wearing really bright suits?
Yeah, man, he looked like cheese dick extraordinaire, but... And, I mean, I don't know the guy. He may be the nicest guy in the fucking world, but, like, Mr. Cheese Dick, if you're out there and, like, you take offense to this, I apologize. I just don't know you, but you look cheesy. And you read off cue cards, but...
But we hope you have a nice day.
We do.
We do hope everyone has a nice day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we got all off track. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, we've been welcomed, everybody. So this is going to be a fun one tonight. I can already see, with just the smiles and the laughs before any stories have been shared. So welcome. Is it episode 19 or is it episode 20?
This is officially episode 019.
We're going with 20 because it's Bread's Kitchen. But we do want to start off by thanking our sponsors, and that is the Jerky Life.
Oh, speaking of which, the Jerky Life, my God.
Oh, we got one. He's going to get it.
Oh, he's going to get it.
Run.
Does the guest get to sample the jerky life?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's any left.
All right. I have not had the jerky life yet.
It's delicious.
Delicious.
Oh, it's the venison, too.
Oh, so what kind do we have? What kind do we have today?
You got to flash the camera.
with your tag on it there.
So we have Tommy's Smokies Venison Summer Sausage.
Ooh.
And
We have sponsors.
yeah, these are the sticks, and my God, they're delicious. They're so delicious.
He saved you one.
Yeah, and this
I don't need a whole one. Just break me off a small piece.
like I have to be honest here, guys. Like, they sent this package to me because I ate the other package, and I was supposed to be sharing this with the guests, and like,
you see, he won't even give it to me now.
look,
So
there was like 10 pieces of jerky in here, and now we're down to one, and this got here last week. And I feel so guilty. There it is right there, ladies and gentlemen.
beautiful.
Tommy's.
Hold it up. I'm going to go zoom.
Yeah.
There we go, baby. All right, we're good.
Go to thejerkylife.com. It's a healthy way to snack, unless you do like me and eat 9 pieces at once, and then it's not.
That's not a very healthy way.
That's not a healthy
That's
lifestyle.
Not snacking.
That's not healthy. Look at that. Now, don't eat it because our guest has to eat it.
We're not gonna. Oh, nope. I'm gonna share that.
There we go.
Share that.
Everything is healthy about that snack. Doesn't matter how many you eat.
Are you serious?
You go into a black hole and you actually lose weight and you get stronger and you look better.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir.
Really?
It says on the package.
Oh, okay.
Well, never mind. It has to be true.
But it says that statement has not been evaluated by the FDA.
Oh, does
But
it say that too?
Even if it was evaluated by the FDA, let's be fair.
Yeah, there you exactly. Like who the fuck trusts the FDA?
Let's be fair.
Hey.
They don't even legalize marijuana. How the fuck can you trust those guys?
Good.
Good point.
All right.
Good
Seriously.
effing point.
Let's.
Ooh,
what
are we
you
diving in?
Nah,
You're jumping right
Go
in.
ahead and finish.
I was
Nah,
like, are we? Because
nah, we're not diving in yet.
we're not talking about anything else. We're going to
Yeah.
start that. And we did want to recognize also that our guest is the matchmaker for Fightlab Promotions. So that is pretty cool.
Fightlab 59, June 22nd, right here in Charlotte.
There you go. We got to definitely ask some
Who,
questions
who,
about how
who have you match made for that event so far?
Main event is Keith Richardson versus Tony Gravely.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. We're going to go through that one in detail for sure. That's exciting.
Move on. Next subject.
Okay.
Brad's already happy about talking about Keith Richardson.
So as we brought up Fight Lab, we have our special guest today, Mr. Kevin Forrant. And we're really excited to have him.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
So Nick, what do you got for us?
Obviously we had Memorial Day this past week. Shout out to everybody that served in the armed forces for Memorial Day. Thank you. I know a lot of people say duty deserves no thanks, but thank you anyway.
Oh, fuck! In this day and age, it does, man.
And then Chico Mendez was here 3 days last week, Saturday, Sunday, and Friday. Friday here at Checkmat Charlotte. Saturday, where was he at Saturday? And then Sunday was at Checkmat Mint Hill.
Yeah, Saturday. Actually, yeah, Friday he was at Checkmat Mint Hill. Saturday he was at no, actually, he was there 4 days. Thursday he was at Checkmat Mint Hill, teaching class. Friday he was here at Checkmat Charlotte. Saturday he did a seminar in Checkmat Virginia.
Oh, wow.
And then he came back here and did another seminar at Checkmat Mint Hill. It was intense.
Yeah.
He's the man.
He is the man. And thank you to all my students that came. And once again, for anybody that did not come, especially from other schools, thank you. Love it. I love it.
Get more of that time.
Man, if I was a millionaire, you know what I'd do?
You
I'm
just
not making this shit up.
seminars like every day.
I would literally, once a month, I would have a big name jiu-jitsu or wrestler guy come in to my school and do a seminar, and I would advertise it and close the motherfucker off to everybody outside my school. That's how fucked up I am. Like, that's how I think. Like, I literally sit in my bed and dream about shit like this. Like, if I could just find a suitcase for like $250,000 and I like pay these motherfuckers like flying here, do a seminar, I'd start like a Facebook event page for every one of them. Like have people lined out the building and like only let my students in. It'd be the greatest thing on earth. There's so fucked up.
No spite in that whatsoever.
No, not at all.
No spite. I mean, you know what? I'd let you in and I'd let Let's in, but everybody else, fuck them.
I missed Chad Mendez. I kind of just got my schedules crossed up. I did want to attend that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know it was Sunday. I'd already already paid for a seminar
Yeah.
up at Claude Felter's.
Okay.
He had Nathan Corbett up there.
Oh, how was that?
Muay Thai guy. It was good. It was
Yeah.
good.
You know. Speaking of Claude Felter, dude, I always wanted to match you up with Claude Felter.
Yeah.
Man, I wanted to let you pound his head in so bad. And and I like Chris. A lot of people don't like Chris. You know, he's like me. He's a what do you call it when something's a different taste or what's the saying?
Acquired.
He's an acquired taste. Claude Felter is. And like I remember back in the day before you started in MMA, because I remember when you started down here with Paul. But the years before that, like everybody just wanted a piece of Claude Felter's ass. Just like everybody, man, like people just every time you'd hear somebody talk about Claude Felter, they had something negative to say. But the nicest fucking guy in the world, like seriously fucking nice. Nothing like me.
What were the negative things that people
just
were saying?
man, people used to say he was a fake and he was a fraud, but but he had a winning record and like he kicked the shit out of some pads, but he didn't fight often, a lot around here in this area. Which fuck, there wasn't any MMA in the area. So
no
you mean
MMA, no kickboxing.
there definitely was no kickboxing. So I mean, you couldn't really fault him. and the nicest guy in the world, and such a good fucking Muay Thai coach.
Yeah.
Like one of the few legitimate Muay Thai coaches I think in the area. Like I hear people all the time say, I do Muay Thai, and I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, right.
His guys do very well.
Yeah,
Very
like
well.
all of his guys are very well trained, and like like watching him, like I've been around him, like when he's working shit. I've been in the back room with him. And the guy, in my opinion, is legit, but a lot of people just always like talk shit about him. And
It's easy to take down the hero, right? I mean,
yeah, it is.
in people's eyes.
Yeah, it is.
It's jealousy or it's, something they're making up for.
Man, I started, people just try to take me down. I put a stop to that shit, man. The hero's easy to take down because like he don't want
They're
to.
humble. They don't say anything
Yeah,
back.
he wants to be the hero. He wants to
Yeah.
be humble. He don't want to start any shit. He don't want to embarrass his school. He don't want to embarrass the director. Fuck that shit, man. They come at me.
Come at me.
I used to eat
Come
that
at me,
shit
bro.
up, dude. I used to eat that shit up. Like I remember, I remember somebody would go online early on, like when I was at Fightlab, and like try to argue with me, and I'd be like, "You so fucked up. You have no idea. I'm about to blow you up. Like you should have just came and whipped my ass. Should have never said anything on social media.
Should have put something over my mouth.
Just let that shit go, man. You're gonna lose."
They don't understand the power that you have of the spoken word and the written word.
Oh man, I'm so good at
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I'm so good at it.
Can I get one too?
Did you guys see my Facebook posts last couple days? Did you see that, Kevin?
Which one?
He said which one?
It's so true though.
Dude, it's like, you know what? It's funny that I can even talk about this and say this shit because I know people still going to do it anyway. But so I made a post a couple days ago. Actually, I shared the video of Hillary Clinton.
I seen it.
Did you guys see that shit? I shared a video of Hillary Clinton where she
Hold on, let me see if I can get it.
God, what was it she said? It wasn't the one about the super predators. It was the gangs.
Yeah, they get positive gangs.
Just about the positive gangs.
Oh, the family, the tribal element, the
Yeah.
family element of gangs.
Yeah, just totally fucking, just so sound-bited that it's not even fucking funny.
Yep.
Like I remember when she said it, okay? And number one, I don't like her anyway. I think she's a
What
fucking
was the video? It was Hillary Clinton.
It was Hillary Clinton about the gangs. It's too long. Don't play it.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Don't play it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's way too long. Even the sound bite that they use is just too long. Like it's one of those things you play a minute of it, and after a minute of it, you
want to
just
vomit?
You already checked out.
Yeah. You form your own opinion, especially if you play it. And like a lot of weak-minded people read it. So everybody reads the fucking thing, and like they go off on my Facebook page, like 197 comments, and I'm like, yes.
I do want to point out though that your post
Stir the pot. Fred.
about our guest
Stir it.
tonight had already reached over 1,295 people.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what-
fucking of course, dude. He's the master of cool.
do you have to say it like that? Like it's
No,
cold outside?
How did you say it when you
Yeah.
announced him?
Oh man, I can't do it. Man,
Come on,
I blow
scream
your
it.
fucking eardrums out, dude.
I'll pull it down.
I'm gonna
I'll
just
pull it
leave
down.
Nah.
Come on, I got you down.
No, man. Hey, let me tell you why I can't do that.
Why?
Real talk. You
Real
got to pay for that shit, bitch.
Ah, shit.
Like that's some serious shit.
Can't give
I
a
think
taste.
The first time I heard you say it was at the Epicenter.
Yeah.
I fought Curtis Cloward.
Yeah.
The rainy night.
Yeah.
I was walking out
Yeah.
to John Lennon,
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
working class hero.
Yeah.
And he's like, the master of cool.
Man, this motherfucker used to come out with these shades on, dude. These fucking shades and that long hair. And God, it was so fucking pimp. Like, listen, everybody watching this, if you watched the podcast or listened to the podcast last week with Kenny Letts, and we were talking about some of the things that in the early years of Fight Lab not just separated us from the other competition, because there was a lot of promotions popping up. Man, they were just popping up like it was fucking crazy. It was like Yabble Dabble and a couple drops of water, magic water, pixie
Like-
dust, and fucking promotions was popping
Like brew
up.
houses.
Oh,
Just
he's like brew
everywhere.
houses. It was fucking. It was crazy. Like it was crazy, and
Yeah.
and they all sucked. And the problem was the big green giant down on the other side of the state was Carolina Fight Promotions.
Yeah.
And those guys had money, like they were doing these pros and paying all these guys that had been around for years, but it was never legal in North Carolina, and so they had been fighting other places, and like they had their own little like clique going on, like they had Hoist Gracie coming in for shows and shit, and they was just dropping money and bang, and they were like paying people to come in and be like feeder fod for their fucking homeboys and shit, and we were like, man, how do we fucking compete with that shit? And I remember the one thing, starting off was I was like, man, it's got to be like when they leave there, they've got to say to themselves, did I go to some fights or did I go to a party and some fucking fights broke out?
Yeah.
And like them first 3-4 events, like we really did that to the T. But I remember there got to a certain point where I was like, man, it might have been Fightlab 7 or 8, I don't know, but it was getting up in there to where we was known, but like, you know, it was getting really sketchy, you know, with trying to stay afloat. And I remember I was like, dude, we got fucking rock stars and they're amateurs, and these motherfuckers will fight like banshees. Like they literally will fight. Like if I remember thinking to myself, if I just match them up right, anything can fucking happen.
Yeah.
Like anything can fucking happen. And it's just a coin toss. And I remember this motherfucker was walking out with some sunshades, and I was like, that motherfucker is so goddamn cool. So fucking cool. And I yelled that shit, man, and they just, and his team, Hyaston, like literally one of the best fan bases for a team in the area. And man, it was magic, dude.
Yeah, it was great.
So was that your name? Was that like a nickname you'd had, or did he give you that?
That day.
That day.
That day.
Nice.
It really sunk in. My next fight was down at a Warfare card, their first event, and I was facing off with my opponent, and he was trying to mean mug me so bad, and someone captured a picture of it, and posted it on Facebook, and I remember Josh Langley goes, "You can't do that to the Master of Cool." And
yes.
it kind of just solidified it right
That's
there.
Yeah,
cool.
you had the shades on when you were staring off with him, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
That was your
So the other one,
signature.
dude was like,
Yeah, and
you
he
know,
was
trying to
just
be Billy
chilling.
Bad, and he's just staring at that fucking them shades on. It was so fucking,
That's awesome.
dude. I loved it.
Yeah.
Dude, we went on a tangent again. I'm totally just fucking up the structure of the podcast. Man,
No,
I'm so happy.
this is how it's supposed to be.
I'm just so happy.
Exactly.
I'm just so fucking happy he's here, man.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool to learn the history of everybody. We're digging deep. We're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Well, I just gonna finish the 3 quick things. We got
Yeah,
Naga,
Naga's coming up.
June 16th, Cabarrus Arena, and then June 23rd is the Toro Cup 11. And that is it for me.
You know what? Actually, I think I messed that up. I think it's Toro Cup 10.
Oh.
Boomer, if any of you elitists from down there in the Raleigh area, you know, those guys are elitists. They're
They'll correct you in a heartbeat.
yeah, those guys, man, like they're the elitists, man. They're better than us. So if I messed up Toro Cup, it's Toro Cup 10, I think.
Do they stream those, or do you got to go live and watch it?
Usually
They did stream them.
yes. But this one, I think they made a post and said this will not be streamed.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to go. I'd like to see them, but it's tough to travel.
Man, it's fun. It's fun. Like I'll be honest with you, straight up. Like I hate fucking MMA. Like this weekend, I was miserable at 864. I was so fucking pissed.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah.
Did you go down there
Why?
to see Carl Reed?
I wanted to coach him
Coach him, all right, yeah, because
Yeah.
Ray's out of.
because Ray was out and,
Yeah.
and Carl comes in and trains grappling with me. So, you know, I was like, well, you know, Coach T's gone, so I'll go down there and, you know, tape his hands and corner him. And man, I had to leave here I left at 11 o'clock because we had to be there at 2 o'clock to get the license. And then he was the co-main event. So I had to sit back there with all these people that I don't like, okay? You know, I had to sit back there doing something that I don't like, being fucking in MMA again. And then he knocks the dude out literally in like under a minute. So pissed.
Was that supposed to be a challenge for him, that guy, or was it?
Well, you know, it's not, you know, most people don't understand this about Carl. I mean, he's an exceptional athlete,
Oh, I know.
number
Carl.
one.
I know
but,
Carl very well.
yeah, but he's still young in his career. And, you know, there's some matchmaking and managing, matchmaking and coaching. All three of those are totally different. And I'm sure you'll agree with that. I don't know if you've ever done the management part, but the coaching and the
Yeah, basically manage my amateur fighters.
Yeah,
and
there
a
you
couple
go.
Beginner level pros, you know,
Yeah.
early on pros, but yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But it's totally different. You got to look at things different. And with a guy like Carl, you know, he's such an exceptional athlete. It's easy to get caught in the moment and just be like, yeah, we can beat that guy. you know.
And not properly size up the opponent, you mean? Just thinking like, he's got natural skills.
Just anybody. Because like
Yeah.
Carl's explosive. He's big. He's strong. He can wrestle. He can strike. He's moving well down there with Wonder Boy and those guys. But, you know, it's easy to look at a guy like that and just go, oh, yeah, we can beat him. You know, because the guy he was fighting was 4-3. And hadn't really beat anybody of substance. But at the same time, the motherfucker I find out was 6'5" with an 84-inch reach.
What?
And I'm like,
kind of monster is that?
I was like, what in the hell? So, you know, of course, I do what I usually do when my fighters get offered something, or if it's like Carl's situation where, you know, I don't manage him, but I do his grappling and Coach T and then find his fights. So I usually find out after the fact. They don't really, you know, he asked me what I think, you know, but he'd already took the fight. And so then I stalked the guy. This is what I always do. I always stalk my fighters' opponents, which is why I don't like doing MMA. I don't like the shit. I hate stalking people.
Too immersive,
man. You know, I'm such a nice
real
guy, and I just feel like
you got lost,
full of rainbows and sunshine.
You know, I feel like stalking somebody and like looking into their personal life and all that shit is just really rough. But you know, I looked the dude up and I was like, okay, this motherfucker. You know, we're one life choice away from possibly getting our asses whipped because this motherfucker goes and even stands outside of ATT. We might have a fucking problem. He's 6'5" with 84-inch reach.
Yeah.
But he's got 3 fucking kids. He's got like 18 jobs. You know, he ain't gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight to prepare for it. So that's why he's 4-3. Pray to God we get there and he's continued down the same path. And I think I got there and it looked like he had a crackhead in his corner. So yeah. I said, all right, we're good. But
right.
still,
did you just say they had a crackhead in his corner?
Dude, I've seen it a couple times, man. Was you in Cherokee when Wild Bills came to Cherokee? Did you go to that fight?
I did not, no.
Dude, Roger Carroll fought this motherfucker, and like this motherfucker had a legitimate crackhead in his corner.
Explain that.
A crackhead.
Like he literally looked like someone on the corner that was
Right,
just
like, it's calling me crackhead. You know, that shit. Seriously. Look, I'm not making this shit up. Roger Carroll, this dude was beating Roger Carroll's ass so bad. He picked him up and was like Donkey Kong and like Roger had him in an arm bar. The dude picked him up and like spiked him on his head like this. Okay? And so he just keeps picking Roger up and keeps spiking him, which you'd have to know Roger. He doesn't care. Roger literally, like, the last time he got spiked on his head, he like looked over at Blake Grice, the referee, and he goes, brother, he's spiking me on my head. And Blake was like, then let go. And Roger's like, okay, brother. And so the guy started Donkey Konging Roger. So the bell rings and first round ends. And fucking Roger comes over to our corner because we were coaching and training Roger at the time. And I turn around and look as Phil's talking to Roger. And his opponent, I'm not making this shit up, is standing in the corner. The crackhead sitting on the chair drinking the water. Funniest shit I've ever seen about. And the guy was like dying. Like he's actually it was
was that Hornbuckle? Was it that?
Nah, it wasn't Hornbuckle, dude. No, that was bad, man. God, that was bad. He got I think, or did Roger beat him?
Roger beat him, yeah.
Roger beat him?
That was out in the mountains too, where
That was up in Cherokee too.
well, it was a town near Cherokee, what, like
Yeah.
Perkins or something.
Yeah.
I was actually camping that weekend.
Did you go to the fight?
I did not. I felt bad. I put my wife through enough things that we're camping as a family. Hey, I'm gonna go drive an hour to go see some fights.
It doesn't seem like
So
that.
speaking of your wife, man, how's she doing?
She's great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is she watching the podcast?
Probably. Hey, Blanca.
Hi, Blanca.
We watched last week's together with Kenny on there.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
More than likely she's watching this week's. She knows I'm here, obviously.
Yeah.
So.
What was that?
Alerts.
Okay.
That was my wife.
Windows up. Hello.
So tell the viewers about Blanca's moment of fame in Fightlab.
This is a great story.
This is a great icebreaker.
Either you tell it or I'm going to tell it. So you go ahead. I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell your version of it.
My second pro fight was against Michael Lale, who's a really nice guy. I like the guy a lot. You know? And Michael was actually training with you for the fight, and we felt good about the fight. You know, Micah's coming down from 170 to 155, and you know, I'm expecting a monster to come into the cage, and I was a pretty big 55er as well. But I'm in the fight, doing my thing. I'm on top, striking Micah, you know, and then I'm fighting, and there's a big commotion outside the cage.
Right in front of you.
Lo and behold,
In your point of view.
Yes.
Okay.
My wife and Micah's girlfriend were going at it.
True story.
Front
this would have
row.
been awesome.
Front row.
True story.
What was the cause of that? Just support?
No, they didn't even know that my wife didn't know that was his girlfriend or not.
Oh my gosh.
But Micah's girlfriend was sitting in front of my wife. She was inside the barrier. My wife was front row. And Blanca's story, my wife, she said the girl kept on standing up, and I'm trying to watch the fight. My wife's only 4'10", so very short.
Okay.
So you stand up in front of her, it's going to impair her vision. So
Yeah.
she said, I asked her nicely to sit down twice, and the third time I pulled her hair and yanked her down and said, "Sit down, bitch." and the next thing you know, they're both throwing blows.
Scrapping.
And my dad was in town watching the fight as well, sitting right next to her.
So-
He's
so-
like, "Oh my goodness."
So he
wait a
got
minute.
double the money. He got double for his money,
Yeah.
though.
To make it worse, as they're breaking it up, that's when they stop the fight, right?
I mean, at that point, I'm
Because
not paying
you was on
attention.
top.
Yeah,
Remember, didn't Micah, you had him up against the cage, and Micah's ACL
he tore
Tore-
early. I think his ACL tore in the first round.
in the
Oh
first
my
round.
goodness.
Yeah, so he dropped, but he dropped off the cage, and you're on top of him, and right as you're on top of him, banging him out, Blanca and Wanda are scrapping in the front row.
You can't make that stuff up.
Oh
No.
man,
Man.
oh, it was crazy. It was madness. It was classic Fightlab shit at that time.
Legendary. It's a legend in the gym.
Oh man,
Is there any video proof of any of this?
is that fight online?
The fight's online, but I think Tony Tan is commentating because they were doing MMA on the Rise. So Tony and I think Tom Ziegler were doing the play-by-play.
Yeah.
And you could hear Tony Tan saying, "Let's leave it to the pros, guys," referring to
To the women outside fighting?
our women out there fighting. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh.
Did she
that
have
was-
any reaction afterwards when she found out that it was his
Well, they
girlfriend?
kicked her out,
Yeah.
So
Aw.
I'm getting out. I think it was a main event or co-main event. I can't
Co-main
remember.
event. Co-main
Okay.
event.
And I get out of the locker room, and I'm expecting, all right, give me a beer.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Kevin, your wife's she got kicked out of here." I was like,
Got to go take care of it.
"Yeah."
Foolishness.
That's awesome.
It was every event. Every event of Fight Lab back then.
That's
Th-
kind of the
there was-
magic, right?
Oh man, no, you know what? It was so needed at the time, and then it got to a certain point. Like for me, I was like, you know what? We really need to change this.
Mm-hmm.
Really need to.
One of the scary moments were what was it? The hammer.
Oh my God! With the 82nd Airborne and Nick Smith,
Yeah.
that 16150 crew.
Yeah.
Fuck me, man.
It almost was like a battle royale,
Y-
70
y-
on 70 or whatever.
You know what's bad about that? I remember making the matchup because we trained Nick too.
Yeah.
Nick was one of our fighters, and I remember making the matchup and thinking to myself, I probably fucked up. I literally remember thinking that to myself. I probably fucked up by making this matchup.
Why is that?
Because I just remember thinking somebody from that 16150 crew is going to do or say something stupid.
Yeah.
Or somebody from the 82nd Airborne is going to say something. Or Nick's going to lose. Or the other Nick is... I mean, it was... You couldn't have asked for a more combustible...
No, it was two crazy fan bases.
Yeah.
Like very unruly to a degree.
Like
but
on a lower tier of Conor McGregor's fan base and Nick Diaz's fan base.
Yeah.
Was this the fight on the flight line?
No.
No.
Okay.
This
one
was at the Silver Hammer.
Silver Hammer Studios at the NC Music Factory.
Was you on that card?
No, I was watching the fights that night.
God, that was crazy. So what happened was Nick Smith comes out, Nick Grady comes out, and Nick Grady kicks Nick Smith with a liver shot, like right off the bat. We're talking like
Yeah.
30 seconds in.
Back pivot kick.
Yeah, right in the liver and just drops. Boom. And
Then he hit it twice though. The second one.
Yeah.
The second one dropped him.
yeah, and it's like game over. Like it had to be 40 seconds somewhere out there.
Yeah.
It was super quick.
Yeah.
It's super quick. And the fight ends, and then Like they started going crazy and like started throwing bottles and shit and up towards the cage, and then some fucking idiot from 16150 was so drunk he goes to throw his bottle up in the cage and like literally like hits this girl from me to you. Like he just doesn't let the bottle go, and he
just kind of launched it
straight at her. And dude,
Yuck.
You're talking about the 82nd Airborne. It was on.
Yeah.
It was a full
You definitely
blown
can't do anything
riot.
like that. Yep.
God, it was crazy. It was crazy. Crazy. I'll never forget making the matchup and saying to myself, this was a mistake.
So did it turn into be a riot?
Oh yeah, it was bad.
How'd that get broken up?
The cops stood outside that stopped.
Yeah, they're not going to jump in the 82nd. No.
I mean, you're literally talking about 170 on 70. Like,
Oh, yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like over 100 people.
Yeah.
Going at it.
And what was crazy, you know what we did? We just kept on fighting.
Just let that stuff.
We let
just
that
work
fight
it out.
in, and then we announced the next one.
Yeah.
It was good shit.
If not, you're going to be behind on time. You might as well keep going.
Hey man, speaking of behind on time, let's get into some of this.
Segue on segue. That was a good story about his wife, though. It was a
So,
nice,
so
nice
Kevin, what is
icebreaker.
your favorite color?
We're always starting with that. It's so nice.
What is it? Come on.
We're gonna pick apart your personality now as well. So tell us about your childhood.
I'm not even sure if I have a favorite color.
Oh, come on.
What is your least favorite color?
Hey, there you go.
Least favorite color.
White. I'm just kidding.
I like white. Like I like white sneakers. You know.
Okay. He's got a clean look to him. He's got an IKEA-esque.
Wait, I do want to mention that any racist comments to you are brought to you by Advil tonight.
Boom.
That's right. That was a nice post.
Advil. Call us, motherfuckers. Call us.
Oh my god.
Call us. Get on the podcast. Sponsor this shit, bitch.
Might as well get on it now.
Yeah.
Favorite
If not,
color.
we'll pick up Tylenol or Aleve. Either one.
Or Ambien.
Or Amy.
Nobody posts anything in the next 5 minutes. We don't want to be liable. We don't want to be liable. So, favorite color, least
I would
favorite
say
color?
maybe blue. Favorite color, blue.
Okay.
Blue?
Maybe blue. I don't know.
Really?
So many colors.
I thought you was going to say red. Like, I've never seen you in hardly anything but red, black, and white.
Well, it's because that's our school color.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Of course you did.
That's why I like blue though. Then like my two favorite sports teams are the Sabres and the Bills, and they both wear blue. So.
The Sabres and the Bills. You're from Buffalo, New York?
Yep.
Man, let me ask you a question. Seriously. Like, what was it like growing up in Buffalo? Because I look at it and I'm like, dude, it had to be depressing.
Depressing, yeah. It was when I was like 10, 11, 12, the Bills were in the Super Bowl 4 years in a row, so it was kind of exciting because they were good, you know, real
Yeah.
good. And then they lose every year, so
God, that had to suck.
and then you just felt like you were cursed.
I was like, then
Yeah.
what do you have?
And then in '99, when I was senior in high school, and the Sabres made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, and they lose, and then you just felt like you were cursed.
Damn. How did y'all deal with that as a city? Like the Bills, seriously. Like,
I drank a lot of beer.
I like it. Maybe I might be from Buffalo. Maybe I was born there.
Are you fair weather? Is that what you're saying?
I thought you was gonna say my fair skin. I was
fair
about to
weather.
say.
The Bills fans are diehard fans, though,
know.
man. You can't. We didn't make the playoffs for like 20 years.
I
and
say that as a jab to the Vikings because
Yeah.
I lived in Minnesota for a long time, and there's so many fair weather.
Hey, we
Vikings
just got
fans.
y'all's quarterback. He's in Denver now. Case Keenum.
Oh wow.
That's right. That's right. And we got Chubb Rock at defensive end. NC State, bitch hotches.
Those sports teams, I don't know.
We're
anything.
back.
I don't.
Like somebody bought me a Vikings jersey. I was in IT. I got free tickets all the time. Like I don't know. It's
So do y'all have any? Let's see. You have the Sabres. You have the Bills. Do you guys have basketball?
No, the Braves moved from Buffalo to the Clippers to LA
okay.
Okay.
way back when.
Okay. Wait a minute. The who?
The Buffalo Braves
Yeah.
moved from Buffalo to LA to be the Clippers.
Oh, damn. So you know like the whole history of Buffalo.
Right.
A little bit.
Damn, that's pretty cool. I like that. All kidding aside, though, I always thought that living in Buffalo would probably be depressing. Now, not as depressing as living in Rhode Island. Rhode Island is the most depressed state in the history of the world. I mean, it's terrible. Have you guys ever been to Rhode Island?
I never have. Didn't you go up there for a fight with Keith or something? Who'd you go?
Did me and Keith go to Rhode Island? Man, I don't know. I've been all over them country and world freaking fights. It's ridiculous. But no, no. I went with Keith to not Rhode Island. It was New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
And his opponent pulled out. I flew all the way up there, and his opponent pulled out. Yeah, that was crazy. And I took Johnny Buck up there too. Johnny lost. Yeah, I think he got kneed in the head or some shit. It was crazy. Back in the day.
How long ago was that?
Man, that was back.
It'd have been like 8 years ago or so.
Oh, that was about 8 years ago, man. I'm old, dude. So, hey, but actually, before we get into questions, I do have, because Fightlab is on June 22nd, right?
Yep, Friday night this time. Friday.
What number Fight Lab is this again?
59.
59.
How many fights do you have in the car so far?
There was 18 the last time I checked. But,
Wow.
Holy moly.
But fights fall off all the time, so
Yeah.
it's like liquid.
All right. What time is that starting that night?
The fights start at 7. Doors
Okay.
open at 6.
Where is it again? I'm
At
sorry.
the Grady Cole Center.
Grady Colson.
Cool.
Probably
Doors
one
open
of the-
at 6. Fight start at 7, you said?
Yep. One of the best places in Charlotte to watch a fight.
One of the best places in the world.
Grady Cole?
Absolutely.
The atmosphere that Fight Lab puts together there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Dynamic, very.
It's ridiculous.
Very cool.
Yeah. I've been all over the place for fights.
Yeah.
I've been in some big ass arenas, and it's tough to capture that same feeling. And you know what's funny? I've been to Grady Cole when other companies came in and tried to do fights.
Wasn't the same vibe.
They can't do it.
Yeah.
They just can't capture it. I mean, that shit's down to a science.
XFC, LFA, they've
XFC,
been there. And,
yeah.
But with like DJ A-Rod,
Mhm.
and then just the way like the event unfolds.
Who was that one company that came in? God, what was the name? Remember the guy he left? Remember he said he was going to come in, he's going to shut Fight Lab down, and then he ended up leaving town. He's writing bad checks and shit.
Was he writing bad checks?
Yeah, some shit like that. He went to Tennessee and
Oh, that was Imperial.
Imperial.
Yeah,
Yes.
I made my pro debut with them.
Yes, you did. You was on that card, wasn't you?
They paid very well.
They did. They did. And that was the funny thing. They was like, oh, we pay this and Fight Lab don't pay shit. And I was like, yeah, man, fuck that. Everybody fight for them. let them pay you. This is a great idea.
What did they, if you don't mind saying, what did they pay you for your first pro fight?
Pro fight, $750 and $750 is a debut.
Yeah, and that's
not bad.
That's good for a pro debut.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. We was paying like 2 quarters and 2 quarters.
But it was a little. I sold $7,000 worth of tickets for that fight too.
Yeah, so you got like 20% of that.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
Made some bank.
I have to go down
That's-
there for 59
that's
and
pretty
see what
damn
that
good.
energy feels like.
Oh yeah,
I haven't been to one.
Everybody from my school is going to the Fight
Yeah.
Lab 59 fight,
Yeah.
not because we're going to support Fight Lab or we want to see Kevin, but because we're going to watch the Pipe Doctor, John Piper, the Pipe Doctor
Versus John
Shell.
This is going to be so good.
Everybody, cut your YouTube off now. We said the name John Shell.
He's popping up sometime soon.
He's in your closet. He's scared.
He's gonna jump out.
Ah!
He's going to knee reap you.
Well, you can tell where the rowdy row is going to be. We're all sitting together.
He's gonna knee rape you.
He's going to knee reap you.
How fucking funny would it be? Fucking Shell goes in there and tries to knee reap Piper. fucking Piper takes the knee reap into the crucifix.
I'm not in the know on this inside joke here.
I don't know. I'm just, these two kind of just go.
So
Something
John,
happens and
you
they
know who
just
John
go.
Piper is, right?
Oh yeah, of
The
course.
Pipe Doctor?
Yeah.
The man, the living legend,
Yeah.
the greatest jiu-jitsu player to ever grace the floor, the mat, the ceiling of any arena, any
The
school of Charlotte.
ceiling.
Man, this dude, I saw John Piper crucifix a guy and like levitate to the ceiling.
Just
Like
tell me-
they both just floated up off the fucking floor straight to the ceiling.
Just tell me there's no mirrors on the ceiling.
Well, he does.
Whoa.
I'm not gonna get into all that. And then John Shell is he's a black belt out of Furuque Verena. under Hubal Carioca.
Wow.
And like he has this big grungy looking beard.
Yeah, I know who John is. I know both of the guys.
So you know both the guys?
Yeah.
Are you just joking? The
John
knee
Shell.
reap, was that the thing? You're like,
yeah.
what is that?
Oh well, see in jiu-jitsu,
No, you got
Well, I
disc-
know.
you got
yeah, you know you can't reap the knee. You
Can't
can't
reap
bring
the
the foot under the thigh. and
IBJJF
outside.
Atlanta
Yeah.
in February, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, was that where Shell got
Yeah.
disqualified?
Yeah, I watched that that match.
Did he? He got DQ'd
Yeah, with the versus some Asian dude.
for knee reaping.
Because what's his name? Yes, for knee reaping.
How do you go for a leg lock without knee reaping though?
You take him to the you got to take him to the outside.
Outside leg.
I'll show you one day, dude. Just come in here. And I'll show you. It's the dumbest thing on fucking earth. You coming from Hyaston, like you're like
All we
me.
do is leg locks,
Exactly. Like when I come from catch wrestling, and
Yeah.
so I remember the first time somebody told me that I was like, "You're fucking retarded, dude.
Well, we don't do IBJJF, so
Yeah.
it's like I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not up to with the
You're
rules
not up to
and
speed
stuff.
with it." Yeah.
Yeah.
I was confused at first, but I
I think as long as the inside leg does not go across the leg of the outside leg of
Right.
the attacking leg.
yeah.
This is where we need
Well,
a diagram of you drawing.
the leg has to come under the thigh and then across the hip,
yeah, right.
and put pressure on the knee. But here's the deal: like you get a lot of people, especially back in the old days, you'd set your foot up on their hip, you know, and then they would literally push your foot across and turn their knee in and scream, and then there's your knee reap. You know, or like I remember in Charlotte, this one girl, and I don't know what the hell she was thinking. Like she had this other girl in a leg lock, and she was reaping, and the girl that was getting leg locked stopped, and you looked at the ref and was like,
Hello.
and so the girl kept going. The girl doing it was like, he's not gonna stop me. So she just kept going and cranked it, and the girl tapped. He stood him up, and then he disqualified her. Yeah,
Wow.
that sucks shit. Yeah, I was like, man, that's shitty.
So we should come up with like a
You
shirt.
could
that
have
says,
stopped him,
This is my reap whistle.
dude. Can I? You know what? I may bring a whistle at Fight Lab, and as Shell's walking out, like blow that thing.
Then you definitely know where we're at.
Should we introduce him as the Reaper?
John the Reaper.
Something just happened.
John Shell's in the house. Everybody run.
He's gonna come through this door any second. And
He's
just
in the
levitate.
closet. He's not coming through that fucking door.
He's in the closet.
He might.
Oh,
Yeah. I like Shell, dude.
You say his name 3 times and he just magically appears, kind of like the
Shell
Bloody
Shock,
Mary?
Shock. Hey,
Like Candyman, right?
Candyman. Yeah.
I mean, his school's called Shell Shock BJJ. Okay, let's try it. Say Shell Shock 3 times, quick.
Shell shock, shell shock, shell shock. Sure. That's what that last one sounded like.
Dude, that's gonna be such a good match,
Be
man.
in front of a mirror with the light off.
You know how that shit came about, right? Kenny
No.
on the podcast, running his mouth on here.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
Lord.
talking
me.
shit, man. Called him scared. Said there's a bunch of scared bee Hodges. That's what he said. Well, okay, maybe he didn't say that, but he did. Like they was pissed. Like the next day, like Vernon Kirk messaged me. He's one of John Shell's teammates. He was
Yeah.
pissed. He was pissed. You know Vernon, don't
I
you?
do.
Yeah,
I know who he is.
that's my buddy, dude. Looks like Ernie off Sesame Street. Do you know Vernon? Ernie?
I've seen him on the Facebook.
Well, like he's on the card too.
Yeah.
He's going against Cocovitus's brown belt, I think.
I have to look it up. I'm
Yeah.
not part of the jiu-jitsu matchmaking.
Dude, yeah,
Wait
man.
for what fight? What? I can look this up right now.
That night at Fight
So-
Lab.
We have 2 jiu-jitsu matches or
Well,
grappling
yeah,
matches.
that's all they've got. They don't got 2, Nick. It's
So-
it's Vernon and what you gonna
Okay.
say?
No, I was gonna ask, like, so if you don't do the matchmaking for the jiu-jitsu matches, who do you guys refer to then?
Kenny put those together.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, but he's got it easy. I had to do the damn jiu-jitsu and the fucking fights. This is bullshit.
Well, give us a background then on your history and fighting and training.
Yeah,
and, like,
tell
how
us about
long
that
have
shit.
you been involved in this?
Well, I was playing hockey, and
Oh, that's a good
I
start.
thought it was tough. You know, I used to get in fights, you know, here and there in hockey.
Yeah.
You know, hockey. We would go up to Canada and play. There's a lot more fights in Canada than there are in the U.S.
Because they're cold and bitter.
They're tough. They're Canadian hockey players are a lot tougher than American players.
Sure.
But I moved down here, I think it was 2003,
Mm-hmm.
and I was working, and I was like, man, this is boring. I need to do something. So I started training. My very first time I stepped into a gym was Trey Wyatt. He came from he had a little gym out in Mint Hill back in 2003, American Kickboxing Academy or something, before AK was even around. But he trained with Milicic in Iowa, and he moved out here. And he had a little gym, and he was a unique individual. But I did like 3 months I was the only guy in the gym because he just opened up. And
Yep.
3 months of like bag work, and he said, "Yeah, you're ready. We're gonna go to a kickboxing match up in Virginia Beach." Like literally, all I did was hit the bag for 3 months. No training whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I go up to Virginia, fought my first kickboxing match, and I lost the decision because I really had no idea what I was doing. You know, I worked 3 months on a bag. You can't learn much hitting a bag.
I was gonna say, how did that feel with a bag versus a person?
I made it 3 rounds. I got a videotape of it at home somewhere.
All right.
I haven't watched it in about.
Did
8
you say
years.
videotape?
Yeah.
Like VHS?
VHSC, I believe.
Whoa!
That's old school.
Yeah, it was on a camcorder. But yeah. So then I took like a year or so off, and I was like, you know what? I watched UFC on TV. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
MMA, and then when I was at Trey's, man, he used to have all these NHB fights on VHS. Like I'd go there and train, and then we would sit there and watch VHS of. All these NHB fights, like guys pulling hair, headbutting, grabbing balls, and squeezing, like
Oh,
just
dear.
like straight up
No rules.
biting, like no rules, like NHB, like straight up no rules
Yeah.
whatsoever. And I was like, I still felt, I could do this, and
Even
so-
after watching that.
yeah, I still felt I was tough.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
went 3 rounds with some, the guy who knew what he was doing,
Okay.
compared to me, did nothing. But, so I was like, what, I think I could do this. So I was looking around online, and there wasn't a whole lot back then on the internet. There wasn't a whole lot of, gyms in the area. But I knew I wanted to do grappling. Like I wanted to
Yeah.
focus on grappling. And at the time, it was like the name of the school is Extreme Karate, and they were out in Matthews, and they were affiliated with Go Korchevichian, and I really I did some research, and I really liked his his style, so I was like, I'm gonna go do this. I went to the school, watched it, and this is like I think when was MMA just become legal? In 2008.
2009.
2009. So it was right before MMA was legal in North Carolina, about 2008 or so. I finally got back into it, started training, and I was like, I'm going to do this. So I was training, 3-4 days a week, waiting. And then 14 months after I started training, I took my first fight and won, and then just kept on fighting ever since.
Nice.
Hold on, Kevin. Why are you messing with our eardrums again?
You
Here
gotta
we
turn-
go.
you
Because
gotta turn
I'm
that
trying
down.
to. I have to make this right for. You let me handle the production, sir.
Just a tad.
Yeah, did you not learn anything from last week?
Just a tad.
You're killing our ears.
I'm not killing your ears.
Yes, you. How do you know they're my fucking ears? How do you know?
He's gonna have an outburst. I mean,
There, how's
I
that?
like my thank you.
That's better.
That's better.
We're not all gonna speak in like that soft, velvety voice, but
Soft, velvety voice.
that just
Thank you for
sounded-
interrupting.
Stop it.
Was that a late night DJ?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck it is.
No, he's about to introduce Candy to the stage.
Welcome back to the smooth sounds of Bread's Kitchen. Kevin Forrant is on next. He's going to talk about Fightlab and his past and his favorite color is
But I
blue.
don't understand. If everybody's saying that the sound is good online, why would you touch it?
Because I'm watching.
Fuck that. Well, who cares? They're not that computer's not listening to the podcast.
I think I was getting away from the microphone, perhaps.
That's what he was
reacting
doing.
to.
Yes, thank you.
But then he's gonna come back to the microphone and he's gonna
that's-
change again.
And that's why I'm monitoring it.
What the?
So moving
Jiminy
Past.
Christmas.
Jiminy Christmas.
Oh,
I don't even know where to go from there.
All right, go ahead,
We
Kevin. I'm
stopped.
sorry. I'm
So I
sorry.
took my first fight, and then obviously, you're immediately addicted once you start fighting, and I sold like 100 tickets for my
Okay.
first fight.
You gotta elaborate on immediately addicted. What was it?
We had got done fighting.
Yeah.
I sold like 100 tickets, so I had like 100 people there, for me, and then obviously a couple other 100 people there watching the fight
Yeah.
as well.
Yep.
And they're all cheering you. It's just you
Kind
just
of being in the moment.
Yeah. You feel like you're the center of everything, I
That's
guess,
cool.
and it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
So 3 weeks later, I think I took my second fight.
You're like a minute.
Now, was that an MMA fight or a kickboxing match?
Those were both MMA fights. So my first fight was
Mm-hmm.
my very first MMA debut was against Chris Smith. Next Level, I think, was
Yeah.
yeah. They came to town. You know, I didn't know anything about MMA really, like, you know, promotion wise.
Yeah.
You know, the promoter, you know, called up Paul. It was like, we need some fighters, and he's like, I got a guy, 155 pounds, and they're like, we got a guy who wants to fight at 160, and I was like, yeah, we'll take it. You know, and then 3 weeks later, I was in the cage fighting.
Wow.
Now, did you beat Chris then?
Yeah, we won a decision. Yeah. So like my very first fight, though, my only concern was gassing out. Like I did not.
Walk us through your very first fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very first fight.
How many rounds?
It was 3 rounds,
Okay.
3 minutes, and my only concern was do not gas out. Like I felt I was good. You know, I was training at Dime Boxing for my boxing. I was training at highest. Well, it was Extreme Karate back then for my kickboxing and my grappling. But my only concern was don't gas out. That was my only fear, that I would you gas out and then I would have some guy, you know, trying to punch me in the face and I can't do anything about it because I have no, you know, no gas tank.
Yeah.
You know, so I could, you know, fought conservatively, you know, walked him down, boxed him, threw 1-2s. We were up against the cage a little bit. You know, he took me down once, but I got up and I took him down and ended the round on top once. You know, 3 rounds went by. You know, after the fight ended, I felt like I could have done more. You know, so I guess that, you know, you gain that with experience. You know, you learn how much you could push, you know, but the very first time I was like, whatever you do, don't gas out. You know, if you gas out, you're going to get beat up and then you're going to look like a fool in front of all these people.
he was an awkward
Chris.
dude.
Yeah.
Fighting and just the way he punched, the way he grappled, the way he wrestled, everything was.
Everything.
What was awkward? What do you mean by awkward?
His body was awkward. I mean, first of all, his personality was awkward, but I mean, his body was awkward. His wrestling, like everything was just. I mean, do you not agree? Everything just seemed wrong that when you watched a video of him, and then you get into the cage with him, and you're like, well, this fucker's not going anywhere.
No, he was tough to finish. I fought him twice in my career. The first time was a loss, and the second time was for Fightlab for a title at the Epicenter. And I lost 5-round decision, and I was surprised as hell because I thought I was going to walk through this guy.
Yeah.
I thought I was, you know, I was like, I'm going to walk through this guy.
Yeah.
You just brought back one of the worst memories I have of Fight Lab. I forgot that he beat you, and I'm going to be honest, I was sick. I was beyond sick. I said, "What the fuck? Chris Smith is our champion."
Yeah.
Like you'd have never, like if you guys had seen this guy, you would have never, ever. And I hate to even admit this, but I remember, I really wanted you to be the champion. I really, 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 really wanted Kevin to be the champion.
There was a lot of reallys.
Yeah, there was a lot of reallys, and it was funny. Our relationship was weird because I didn't get along with his team. But I liked him.
You and Paul.
Yeah, like me and his coach hated each other.
Just rubbing somebody
Well,
the wrong
actually,
way.
I take that back. I didn't hate him. He hated me. Like I thought was having a great time. I thought everything was just. I was having a blast, but
Yeah.
he hated me.
Well,
but
Cornbread gets a rise anytime he could excite somebody.
And excite is a big spectrum.
yeah, and I honestly, like for the longest time, I honestly didn't understand that he was taking anything I was doing or saying serious. I really could.
I think the comment that really started everything. It was early on. I remember right from the get-go, for some reason there was some animosity there, but the one comment you made on one of your blogs was,
there we go.
This really cool karate school or something like that, because the name of his school was called Extreme Karate at the time, and he's like, and some people from this really cool karate school think they could do this or something like that.
Well, no, wait a minute. I remember he had the fucking team had like 5 names.
Okay.
Because you got to remember, everything I do, I did by memory.
Yeah.
And they did. I'm not making this shit up.
Well,
it was like Hyaston, IMB.
Well, it turned into that, so it was Extreme
Okay.
Karate
Paul
at
Boo's
first.
Extreme
Yeah,
Karate.
yeah.
And
Team
so
Hyaston.
yeah.
Paul Boo's Extreme Karate, and then Team Hyaston, because Hyaston was from our head of our organization, Go Korchevichian, is Hyaston.
Okay.
Hyaston means Armenia in the
Okay.
Armenian language. So, like, saying Hyaston MMA is like saying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
You know, it's just naming the origin of the country.
Okay.
So we transitioned from Extreme Karate Team Hyaston to Hyaston IMB because we dropped the Extreme Karate.
Yeah.
But we merged with Lewis Grady had a IMB school here in Charlotte, who was an international martial arts and boxing by Richard Pastillo.
Okay.
You know, so then we were two major networks, in martial arts. Richard Pistillo's International Martial Arts and Boxing, and Go Korchevich's Team Hayastan. So we combined the two names, Hayastan, IMB. And then Lewis and Paul split up, so we dropped IMB and switched to just Hayastan MMA at that point.
And I'm supposed to keep track of all this shit.
They're really cool.
But of course, I'll definitely wear the shoulder of blame because I definitely love to stir the pot. But I literally never thought that anybody, especially that group, took it serious. But like me and the coach didn't get along. I wasn't a big fan of the remainder of the team, but I love this dude. I always liked Kevin. I always wanted Kevin to do well, except when he fought one of my guys.
Which happened often.
Yeah. No, you only fought two of my guys.
Who did I have? Micah.
You fought Micah and you fought Jacob.
And Jason Aikido was training with you when I fought him too, right? No, he wasn't?
No,
No,
he never trained with us.
I thought he was.
No, he's always Team Rock guy.
Now I do have to ask, because of the karate school stuff, have you guys watched any of this Cobra Kai stuff on YouTube Red?
I have not had time, but I hear so many good things about this.
It's so good.
I've heard it's awesome.
It is so good.
Explain for the
so
layman's.
If you guys remember Karate Kid, and this is like 30 years later, and Johnny is this. Remember the guy that Ralph Macchio did the crane kick to?
Yeah.
So he's like an alcoholic working like as a painter or a construction guy, and it just goes to you have to watch it, but it shows him like coming out of hitting rock bottom and opening up Cobra Kai again, and then it's got Ralph Macchio in it, and he's like gonna stop him from doing it. So Danny, Ralph Macchio, after the tournament, he's living a high, and he continues to rise. And his, what was his name? Johnny.
Johnny, lost that match and became an alcoholic. So their lives went this way. I didn't watch the video, but I heard some people tell me about it. And
everybody says it's great.
Yeah. And then, so now what would you call that? The episodes or the
YouTube, YouTube Red. I mean, it's actually like full 30-minute episodes.
Yeah. So anyhow, now they got two different, life paths they took.
Yeah.
And then the alcoholic opens up his own school, and he's trying to come up. And then Danny, the good guy in the original movie, is really the bad guy now, right?
Well, pretty much. He's got a bunch of car dealerships, and with every car you buy from him, he gives you a bonsai tree.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's so weak. Like, what the hell?
So now he spends his time trying to take Cobra Kai down, which is actually trying to do something positive. But in his eyes, they're still the bad guy. So it makes him look like the bad guy now, I guess.
So this seems like something we got to tune in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
his homework for next. But
no, wait a minute. Don't explain this to me. You have to have YouTube Red to watch it.
The first two episodes are free on regular YouTube, but everything else is on YouTube Red. But if you get that 30-day trial subscription, you can watch the entire thing.
You just binge watch that shit, man.
And then it's only $10 a month. So.
And then you can bail.
Like, I can't add anything else to
that stuff adds up, man. Netflix, Amazon, YouTube.
Like, my wife's a CPA, and like she's on my ass constantly. I love to add shit.
I got rid of DirecTV for this stuff.
Yeah, and, I mean, honestly, you just don't need cable anymore.
You really don't.
They're trying to do those like you can add one channel here and pay for the ones you want deal, but
so it should be.
I feel like it still is expensive.
A la carte.
So let me ask you this, because you was talking about Toro Cup, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, excuse me, man beer makes me burp.
Man beer.
Like that shit y'all are drinking.
The water you're drinking there?
Like that shit y'all are drinking is probably not going to make y'all burp.
The
I
warm
want to
pea
see
water.
if they actually admit to putting rice in this on there.
Putting what?
Go ahead. No, keep talking. I'm just looking at the label.
What'd she say?
I'm just looking at the label. Oh, barley, malt, and rice.
Fuck. And?
Rice.
Beer.
Men eat rice.
Who puts rice in beer?
Men eat... Hold on.
Who does put rice in beer? Oh, no, Budweiser does.
He's eating rice right now.
No, he's going to bring out the rice.
Chipotle.
Put it in your beer, though.
Yeah, go ahead and dump some.
That was my dinner today, too, Chipotle.
Chipotle?
But rice isn't in beer. Rice is in sake.
That rice
Let's be real.
Sake's really good.
And sake's really good. I'll get off my soapbox, but you can't call that man beer. You can call the 7.2 we got man beer.
That stuff you got to
Put
know.
some hair on your chest.
Whoa, she's talking so much shit right now.
So much shit.
So you're talking about Toro Cup. Did you just snort?
No, that was Nick. I did the other day in class, though. It was pretty great.
Yes, you did. So you're talking about Toro Cup. That's June 23rd. What's the chances that you watch the great grappling matches, no pun intended, Jeremy Real, on June the 22nd at Fightlab, headlined by the Pipe Doctor and John Shell. Dun, 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 dun. Door. Anyways, what's the chances you go down and watch Toro the next day? Are you gonna be too pooped after matchmaking and doing all the festivities at Fightlab?
I mean, I don't know, man.
You should do it.
I should.
Where is it located, though? What city?
It's in Raleigh.
It's in Raleigh.
Let me tell you something, guys.
3-hour drive.
It honestly, if they would promote that shit right,
Yeah.
like if they would do that shit, like promote it up, like if they hired Cocavitas or Let's or me or anybody that knows anything about promotion, those motherfuckers could have something that people would drive hours to go. Like it's worth a 3.5 hour drive,
Yeah.
getting a hotel, taking a group. Seriously, I'm dead serious. Like it's entertaining as hell. It's some of the best grappling and experience that you can get in grappling. Like
All they do is what, like black belts, brown belts, and purple belts, right?
No, dude, they do all that shit. They do blue belts, man.
Oh,
They
yeah?
do blue belts. They do purple belts. They do brown belts. They do no gi. They do gi. It's submission only. Fucking 10-minute matches, 12-minute matches, and that shit's intense, man. And they got like fucking like barbecue and coffee, 4J latte or whatever the fuck that shit's called. Man, like they're doing it, but
Are the
there's
rules
nobody
the
there.
same? Are the rules the same for all the matches, or
Yeah, it's all submission only, man.
yeah, like what submissions go? Like everything?
Any submission.
anything, gi or no gi?
Well, no, not in the gi. Like in the pajamas, you can't do the. Well, actually, you know what? I don't fucking know. I've never seen anybody go for a heel hook. Fuck it. If I compete again and I go down there, I'm just gonna heel hook the fuck out of
You
somebody.
announced
Fuck
that.
it.
You're doing it.
Find that shit. Figure
He
that
said
shit
if.
out.
He said if.
If
Nah, he made some officials.
I said
doing
if,
it. Okay.
not at the Toro Cup. I'm talking about the Toro Cup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about the Toro Cup. I know I can't heel hook him by not be Jeff, but we don't know if we can heel hook in the gi at Toro.
Toro.
So just do that shit.
Dun, dun.
Find out.
We grappled in the gi at highest down, and we let everything
You guys
go.
heel hook, don't you?
Yeah.
Just do it and see what happens.
That's what I'm saying. Let's just go fucking
it.
do it. Would you go down there with us, like in case we need protection?
Yeah.
Let's do that shit. Boomer, book me a match. I promise you I won't heel hook anybody.
Heel hook crew.
Yeah, let's do it.
Done.
Okay.
Heel hook galore.
No, dude, we're not.
I'm sorry. I mean, heelhooks.com. I mean, sorry.
Hey, man, guys, we got some questions we got to ask us full, or
Yeah.
people's going to get pissed off.
I want to ask the first one. I want to
go
ask
ahead.
the first one.
You already asked
I'm
it.
trying to avoid
No,
these questions.
excuse me. You asked what his favorite color was. It is not your turn. It is not your turn.
Damn, you got shut down.
Dang. I don't really get to do that often.
Let me shut your mic off.
I'm on my third beer.
You're on your third beer?
Means you're gonna get some honest answers here.
There you go. I like this shit. Okay, go
Okay,
ahead.
so which you want me to start at top?
Yeah, this is by Tiffany Lee.
Is the Beastie Boys a top 5
Top
band?
5.
Now tell the viewers why she's asking.
All
why
right,
she's asking.
so-
This is so cool. The master of cool. You guys are gonna love this shit.
All right,
Yeah,
all right.
Beastie Boys. I walked out. I fought maybe, I don't know, 26, 27 times between amateur and pro, and I probably walked out to the Beastie Boys 23 of those times.
All right.
You know.
What was that song you used
What
to
was the
come out
song?
So what you want?
So what you wanted? Oh, that shit was so hot, man.
The bass used to hit nice, especially with DJ Rod Cisco.
Dude.
Fightlab system. Yeah.
Oh man, that shit was so tight.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good
Nice.
walkout.
I'd say
And it was-
I'd say DJ A Rod, bring to me Kevin Forrant.
there it is. Oh, see?
And then that shit would hit right there.
Now I'm gonna have to punch somebody in the face.
We got to talk over it. That way we don't get kicked off. But, you know,
Oh, that shit's hot. And he'd come out with those sunglasses. The master of cool. That shit was so fucking hot. Oh, all right. Cut that shit.
Yeah, that was. I was deciding what song I should walk out to.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of like it's a big question. Like,
How do you do that? Like, what is the qualifier? Of
like,
how you
and it's
wanna-
kind of a big deal. Like, fighters are
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
asking, like, what do I walk out to? Like, it's kind of like a big part of your
It
entrance.
is.
I mean,
It is.
'cause
It's
it
your
kinda
whole aura.
says
Your
who you
whole-
are,
Yeah.
kind of degree. And I wanted
Yeah.
to. I wanted to be chill, you know, and like
But
cool,
in people's face?
and I wanted to hear the bass hit hard too. I want,
Yeah.
like, you know, it's kind of like a laid back but in your face song. You know,
Yeah.
you know, it wasn't like this metal rock. You know,
And he'd walk out all slow too.
Just
yeah,
to let it play out.
That long hair and them sunglasses.
Yeah.
That shit was so fucking
I gotta need to look this up.
It'd take me 2 minutes for a walk from here to the door.
He did, man. Oh my God, it was badass.
Stop and like slap people up.
And this dude was like a cardio machine too.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what other opponents thought about fighting him. Mm-hmm. But I remember the 2 times I coached against him, I told both of my fighters, do not let him set a pace. Don't let him get in any form of a rhythm. Because if this motherfucker got going, it was like a runaway train. Like, seriously. Like, it just wouldn't fucking stop. Mm-hmm. For beating any damn thing I'd ever seen in my life. Like, for fucking 3, 4, 5 minutes, he just did not get tired. He would just go. I mean, and when I say go, I'm not talking about like a fucking Easter bunny. I'm talking about coming forward, punches fucking galore,
Just
knees
endurance.
galore. Just, God,
Endurance.
it just pissed me off. I was just like,
I just
prepping for it. Like,
I don't-
I was happy when we wasn't fighting
Yeah.
him.
I
But
just didn't want to
prepping for-
lose, man. That's,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to lose.
Yeah. You know, and it's tough to stop a guy like that.
Yeah.
You know, like the one dude I had that fought him that actually beat him, Jacob. You know, he had something. He was just a ridiculous fucking wrestler, just crazy level wrestler, very high level collegiate wrestler. But most people, you either got to have fucking stopping power or be able to implement your wrestling hard on a guy like that, because movement's not gonna fucking work. Hey man, I remember God, your cardio. Like, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah, I
Like,
was gonna ask, what'd you do? What was your regimen?
I don't know, just trained hard.
you had to, okay, wait.
Did you
Okay.
run? Did
No,
you
I never
lift
run.
weights?
I never run.
You never
I
run?
never run.
I was just running around the parking lot earlier.
Running has very little
I hate running. hate it.
translation
What?
into.
You
Yeah,
never
sport.
run?
Never,
Yeah.
never,
What
never. I probably my whole fight career, I probably ran 10 miles. combined.
You are the first fighter I've ever heard of that has ridiculous cardio that said they didn't run.
Never ran.
I've never heard of that before in my life.
I hate running. Hate it. Hate it. When I was training at Highston, Adam Zart was head of our strength and conditioning, and we used to do a lot of medicine ball work, kettlebells, burpees galore.
Everybody does that.
Yeah.
But
He just did a lot more of them than everybody else.
whoa, wait a minute, whoa. I just realized what the fuck. Never mind. I don't even know why I asked that. That was a stupid question. There's a very legitimate reason why you're able not to run and still have cardio like you had. How many years did you play hockey?
Like my whole life since I was 3.
Oh, okay.
Well, there
Never
you go.
mind. It was
That-
natural
that's
from the
solid.
beginning.
Yeah, I mean, that's your fucking lung capacity is already damn, and your leg endurance.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you weren't running, but you were running.
Yeah, you was running. Yeah, you already ran.
When I
You-
played
you-
hockey.
You
I
ran more than Forrest Gump.
I never stopped playing hockey either. My whole fight career, I pretty much was on the ice most of the
Oh,
time.
well,
That's
fuck,
awesome.
man! Don't come on here with that bullshit talk, dude. Like you was you know.
I never ran.
You know, right now Nicole Hunt is sitting at the fucking house, like.
Oh, I love this.
Oh yeah, like right now at this moment, she's depressed as fuck. She's like,
Oh, I gotta go play hockey now.
she's like, I thought I was getting out of this shit. You know, fucking.
Start playing hockey, guys.
Yeah, you was running more than damn.
Oh, it's way better on the knees.
I
you know,
mean,
you're
maybe
gliding.
soccer.
Oh, by far.
That's why I don't like running, because it sucks on the knees, man. It
You ever
hurts.
Yeah.
you ever grappled or tried to spar with a soccer player once they figure out what the fuck they're doing?
The
It's
endurance.
not pleasant.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. We used to have a. I grew up in Canton, North Carolina, and my high school was called Pisgah, and you can actually look. You can Google this. Pisgah Tuscola football rivalry. You could Google it right now, and all kinds of shit will pop up, like USA Today top 10 football rivalries in America. Is fucking crazy. Like, it's just crazy growing up there. But Tuscola, when I was in school, their wrestling team was beast. They were 4A, we were 3A, And Tuscola was like the preppy school in the county. There's only 2 schools in the entire county. Tuscola, Pisgah. Like fucking divided the entire county. And like this shit, like the day you're born, the day you can talk, your first word is Tuscola or Pisgah. No shit. Like you go there right now, you guys would be like, what the fuck is this? This is ridiculous. But Tuscola's wrestling team, when I was in school, bunch of preppy, they all looked alike. They all had blonde hair, okay? And obviously they were white. And they all played soccer. Yeah. And these motherfuckers would shake your hand, back their ass up to the line, and from that point on, it was just go, 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 and they never got tired. Used to drive me up the wall. It took me like until I was probably 30 years old to figure out why they were in such good condition, and it was because they played fucking soccer.
Yeah,
they was running all the damn time. Their leg endurance. I mean, they never got tired. They could hold their stance. They could back their ass up to the line and get down in a square stance, and you couldn't move them. And
yep, I can believe it.
But anyways, so feeding off of that first question, okay, I have another question, and this is really good because I was actually going to ask you this.
Asking for a friend.
No, I'm not going into the second one. Would you ever compete again, MMA or submission grappling?
Asking for a friend.
I think about it all the time. I think about it all the time. Like, I mean, both MMA and grappling.
And there's an opening at Toro Cup we're trying to fill.
Yeah, grappling's obviously easier to compete in because you don't have to worry about getting punched in the face. Dealing with the concussions and the head. I've suffered multiple concussions playing hockey, and then a few fighting as well, and not even in the fight but sparring as well. So you're always worried about your head, your brain and stuff. So I would probably say it's more likely I would compete in grappling, but it was easy to be motivated to fight or train for MMA fight. For me, it's not as easy to train for grappling. Like when it comes to diet and losing weight and stuff like that. I have a hard time maintaining my weight, and unless I was in a fight camp, then I could stay disciplined on a diet, like easily. I'd come home and bake cookies for my wife, and then eat salad, or I would eat baked kale chips and then serve her cookies, and I had no problems with it whatsoever. If I had a fight lined up or scheduled, no problems. But no fight scheduled, forget about it. I'm eating a cookie, drinking beer. It's my willpower is weak unless there's something on the line.
Well, you're goal oriented. It's not a bad thing.
So I would have to have like a grappling event lined up, and then really take it seriously in order to get my weight into a position competition, because I don't want to grapple against 200-pound guy.
So you would really have to be scheduled for something like probably Toro Cup or Fightlab and a super fight or something.
Or like pay if I was gonna do like Naga, just pay the admission fee.
That'd be enough.
That locks you in.
6 months in the fee.
Yeah, that locks you in, dude.
Whatever.
Fuck that.
$100 or whatever. Man, I hate losing money, so I'm like, oh man, I better get ready for this.
Yeah.
Well, when was your last match? When did you fight last?
I fought Fightlab. Was it 53 maybe?
Okay.
It was about 16 months ago or so.
Okay.
So a year and a half ago.
Who did you fight then?
It was Nick Blesser, rematch with Nick.
Okay.
Rematch?
Yeah.
Did you fight him?
I fought him up in at the what was the event called up there in Shelby.
Oh yeah, the show I did.
Yeah,
Shelby Conflict.
Yeah, was it called Conflict or?
No, it wasn't Conflict. What the hell was it called?
Sweeney was.
Yeah. Sweeney was promoting it, and I was matchmaking.
Yeah.
God, what was the name of that show? We did 2 of them in Shelby. I can't remember the name of it. But you did fight him there.
Yeah, I fought him there, and Nick's a nice guy, real good guy, and he was.
How'd you do the second time with him?
Same thing I did the first time.
Just beat the hell out of him?
Well, went in, reaped his leg, took him down, got on top, and beat him up. But,
classic master of cool strategy.
He was learned that just from John Chow.
He was so mad that I beat him up the first time. He's like, I watched you do that on video 100 times, and I can't believe I couldn't stop it. And so when there was an opportunity to rematch, he was like, yeah, I want that. I want that.
Let me ask you a question. Do you really think he believed that he was going to win?
You have to believe you're gonna win if you take a fight.
But he never wins.
I know.
So why would he think he was going to beat you, who you wins most of the time?
I don't know.
Like I mean, like I you know, as a competitor, like you know, growing up wrestling, I can't tell you what my winning percentage was. I can tell you all my accolades, but I won most of my wrestling matches, high school and college. Football, you know, I was blessed to be in the county I grew up in, and I started playing when I was in 9th grade, and we always won. Grappling, from day one, I was always successful. MMA, I was successful. And I just can't imagine doing shit and losing all the fucking time. And like as a matchmaker, I remember I would have guys ask me to fight, and I remember just thinking to myself, why do you fight? Or like I would need an opponent, and I would ask, and they would say yes, and then I would think to myself, why did you say yes? So I'm just asking you, as a coach, as an athlete, some of these guys, do you really think that? And I'm not picking on Nick by no means, because I like Nick. Nick's a nice guy.
I mean, you could even ask the same questions to one of your guys. Hyatt was 2-6 as an amateur, and then went on to have a successful pro career. So when he looks back,
it was 2-9.
2-9. So before he makes his pro debut,
fuck, he might have been 1-9. Okay, but go ahead.
But before he makes his pro debut, he's got to see, like, he's got to think that he's good. But when you look at his win, his record.
Yeah, but that's a little different though, because Derek,
he was a boxer.
Well, number one, he was a very successful amateur boxer, and all those amateur fights, he could have been. I think he was 1-9. He could have been 9-1 as easily as he was 1-9. Those 9 losses, at least 7 of them were coin flips. We thought he won. I remember. I know for a fact of the 9 losses, we thought he won 6. We literally thought he had won. Well, in fact, if I remember one of them, they announced he did win, and then fucking changed it in the fucking cage.
So these were decisions.
Yeah, these was decision losses, or like early on. You remember Derek, even though he trained with me and Phil, he never did jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, ever.
And like never, like he would not fucking do jiu-jitsu, and we still let him fight because he was just a fucking warrior. And I figured, I was like, well,
sooner
fuck.
or later he's gonna wanna.
Well, and the thing was that the coaching dynamic, he was Phil's boy. It'd be sort of like, Phil wasn't going to tell me D Hart couldn't fight.
Yeah,
he wasn't going to tell me Blaine couldn't fight. Yeah, those was guys that came down here with me, so I wasn't going to tell him. Even though sometimes I thought Derek shouldn't, I wasn't going to say Derek shouldn't fight. But my point is, Derek had a significant skill set that he could implement on anyone and always be in the fight. And B, he almost won most of his fights. He should have won most of his fights. So I could understand, because I did used to ask that question. What the fuck? I didn't say to him, why do you fight?
Yeah.
But I did say to him, why the fuck are you fighting MMA? Why don't you just do boxing? We used to have these conversations. What the fuck? Why? And his answer to me was, in Derek Hyatt's voice, well, coach, I think I can win. And that was okay, though, because he could have won. But you take a guy like you're talking about, like Nick and some of these other guys I've seen, they don't have any, it's not like they're a dominant wrestler or a dominant striker or a dominant boxer or so why do you think they do it? It's just a fucking dog in them? They just want to fucking fight?
I can't answer that question, man, because like I like you, I win. I win more times than I lost, and my guys that I train, they win more times. They win more times,
yeah.
So it's kind of hard. Like I always wonder that too. As a matchmaker, you run into these guys all the time, and they're always willing to fight against anybody. Mm-hmm. And as a fighter, I look back, I'm like, there's no way I would agree to a fight unless I felt I could win that fight. Even if it was against a really good guy, I have to see
something.
I have to see an avenue for victory.
Yeah.
So I, if they said, Kev, you want to Eddie Alvarez? I'm like, holy shit, man! I'm not gonna beat Eddie Alvarez. I'm like, no, I'm not taking that fight. We'll pay you $3,000. No, hell no, I'm not. Unless unless it was a significant payday, I guess. But these guys are doing this as amateurs and low-level pros.
$250 and $250. That is.
Well, maybe it's just. I mean, think about it. I'll say it from like a newbie's perspective, right? I've only competed once in jiu-jitsu, And when I walked in, everything was stacked against me, right? And I just remember standing there, and I was like, well, you're here. And this is going to be an experience. And
well,
so
jiu-jitsu's still different, though.
absolutely different.
Like, you learn, in jiu-jitsu, you learn what you need to get better at, and you go back and train it. But in MMA, there's danger involved.
Absolutely.
There's brain trauma that could, follow you for the rest of your life. I mean, there's legitimate risk for death when you're in that cage and some guy's trying to hit you as hard as he can.
Or the way I used to put it to my guys, and I used to put it to people that wanted to come train with us is, listen, this is what we're preparing for. And I used to tell everyone, I want you to think of this way. They used to get so mad at me for saying this. Like they got tired of hearing it. If you took the referee out of the equation, that guy's trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Period. End of story. He's trying to fucking kill you. If you took the referee out of that cage and locked those doors, he's trying to kill you.
He's at the very least get you in a position where you can't move, knock you out, or put you to sleep, which could lead to death.
Well, if you take the referee out, there's nobody there to stop it.
Him.
He's trying to kill you, and that's the way.
It's a chess match with dire physical consequences.
Yeah, you're coming out of there fucked up. Period.
Yeah.
That you have to
Winner
accept
or
that
loser.
to go. So again, my question is, I know one fighter. I'm not going to say his name, out of respect for him because he was a fucking warrior. But I know he fought every single person in this region that you could think of that could physically hurt you.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, why do you do this? I mean, he fought Keith, he fought Dingo, he fought Crenshaw, he fought Nate. Cloward. And I remember, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, what the fuck is wrong with
Who
you?
are you talking about?
I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say his name. I'm really not, because I don't want him to think that I'm being insulting. I'm literally just trying to figure out
I know who you're talking
the psychology of it. Like, what goes to... And this is the stuff that really kills me. Guys like that and like Nick, they sort of walk to the beat of their own drum, and you see them, they come, they might have their fucking buddy with them corner them, they might have this person corner them. It's their decision. But the thing that really kills me in MMA is when I see these young kids. I just saw a shitload of them at 864. There's a guy down in Gastonia that fights right now, and like this motherfucker is just terrible. He's fucking awful. Like he should not. Like this motherfucker couldn't walk in a straight line and chew bubble gum at the same time. And he posting on social media and Facebook thinks he's got the walkout shirt. He's got the walk, and I'm like, why are you not inserting your foot in his ass and letting him know, or just doing what I do in class? You're terrible. You're awful. No, you're not competing.
Do you think it's just because they're stuck in a vacuum?
It's not
And
a
it's-
vacuum.
Well, I
Some
mean,
people,
like a-
some
like
people
a-
just want to be at the show, even as a
Exactly.
coach.
There's-
yeah,
there's-
yeah.
Like they don't care if their fighter loses or wins. They just want
They're
to be
just
there because
stuck.
it makes them legitimate to have a guy fight.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a MMA gym. We got 5 guys that fight. They're 1 in 17 combined, but we're an MMA gym.
Think
Fuck
about
those
the
guys,
confidence,
man.
though. Like, think about the confidence a coach puts into his person or her person. You're obviously going to listen to that advice over anything else. So it could be a part of that vacuum. Is they just
They like
wanna
that feel good shit.
Bring
Did
all
you drink
that-
the Kool-Aid?
The Jim Jones, dude. You ever see my post
I
on
did,
Jim
but-
Jones?
No, I think I missed this.
I may post
You
this.
post like 17 times a day.
I'm gonna
catch
post
just a couple
tomorrow.
of
I'm
them.
gonna post
But
repost
seriously,
it tomorrow.
is if you drank the Kool-Aid from the person you're training from or the school that you've been training at.
Guys, listen.
Just don't go lay in the bed. You'll go to sleep. You
Listen.
won't wake up.
Exactly right.
Coaches are dangerous. Stay awake. Do you not agree? Coaches can
They
be
can
coaches
be.
can be dangerous
Yes,
because
can be.
100%.
they're in a position of leadership
Yeah.
and people buy into what they say, and a lot of people want to buy in to hearing good.
So
And you get these coaches, especially in this fucking area, they sell.
I was just going to interrupt
The
you and
fool's
say
gold.
that, look, if you guys are listening, if you guys out there wanting to fight MMA, listen to what is being said right now. Seriously.
Yeah. Like if you're fighting MMA and you're not at Hyaston or you're not at Team Rock, like I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I really don't know.
Well,
because
they want to. Guys want to fight. You're not going to come
Yeah.
to my gym and fight unless you're ready to fight.
give me something on that, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Fuck these other gyms. These motherfuckers are like committing. I see a kid fighting, and he can't throw a jab. He can't throw a jab. He can't shoot a double leg. He can't get an underhook. He don't understand head position. And he can't throw a fucking push kick. So what the fuck is he doing in there?
So I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I'm going to
see how tough he is.
I'm going to ask you both a question, though. Does that not feed into the amateur levels of people that are wanting to just get in a cage and fight? And if you have this guy over here and he doesn't have an opponent, do you find somebody at one of these schools that just wants to fight so that you match make a fight?
Jesus, go join a bare knuckle fight club underground if you. Really
I mean, you could do the tough man, but seriously, I mean, that's what everybody's going. And isn't that what? Isn't that kind of what you were talking about earlier? Is with Fightlab? Is you guys had how many fights you have on this card?
18.
Like 18. But
18.
most
18.
like I get countless messages, and I know you've dealt with this in the past. You got any openings on Fightlab? You got any openings? Where do you train at? Independent right now. How much experience you got? I've been in a lot of scuffles, like 17 street fights or whatever.
Oh, jeez.
No. Who's your coach?
Yeah.
Go find a coach. Have your coach contact me, and then we'll set you up a fight. And that's usually what I tell people. I don't like putting guys in there who don't train, because I mean it looks poorly on the organization.
It does.
Because we're trying to, put skilled competitors in the cage to fight against each other to display a skill set.
Yeah.
Not just have somebody, basically could get possibly killed in there because one guy is a beast and the other guy is just some bum off.
Yeah,
there.
no, that absolutely makes sense.
What makes it tough? Or what really?
Wait. I have a question.
What?
Hold that, because I want to hold that on the beast thought. Do you not put a beast against a new guy? Do you not just put two new guys against two new guys?
Well, two new guys, but there's a new guy who could have been wrestling for the last 12 years of his life, doing some boxing, and then this is his MMA debut. But you know this, you're not going to put him up against a guy who's only been training for 3 months.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. The thing that really always drove me crazy though was because, like, you're right about the independent gyms and the guys that, like, I had one kid send me a screenshot of his God, what was that shit? UFC Fit.
What is that?
It used to be a video game.
gosh.
Used to be a video game. Like you could stand in front of the Wii and
Throw punches.
throw
and
punches.
combos, yeah.
He sent you a screenshot of his
Oh yeah, dude.
results
I used to get crazy shit because you got to remember, unlike Kevin, like Kevin was fighting when I was matchmaking, and it was still sort of new in North Carolina, so there was gyms popping up everywhere. And people thinking they could just do it. And so I used to get crazy shit, like crazy shit. So, but the one thing that always drove me crazy and drives me crazy today, and one of the reasons I try to stay away from MMA is just, man, it's one thing for the independents, but then when you see these fucking gyms and they have a somewhat reputable or distinguished reputation, somewhat. And then you see them putting people in there that you're just like, why the fuck would you do that? And then half the time the coach doesn't show up, so they're representing that school, but the fucking coach don't show up, just bullshit like that. And man, it's fucking sad. But to answer your question, what you were saying about it, because you're right, amateur is basically means you're not pro and sort of leads to the idea of you're new. But again, MMA is a different animal.
Yeah.
There's other ways, if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, for you to break your damn teeth in and get in there. You can go do amateur boxing. You can go do some jiu-jitsu matches. You can go do tough man.
I got a friend who plays hockey, and that I play hockey with now, and he played junior hockey up in Canada, and he's a tough dude.
Yeah.
He's tough, really tough guy. And he told me, I want to fight an MMA fight. I want to see how tough I am. I was like, well, come down to the gym, train. We'll get you ready. No, I want to see how tough I am, and then after I lose, I want to come to the gym and train and see how much better I get. I'm like, you want to see how tough you are? Just go do Tough Man or something,
Yeah.
Don't go in there. There's too many aspects of MMA. Just because you could throw a punch or take a punch, there's too many, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and then like grinding against the cage. Like there's so many different. Like one of the things I got good at early on was fighting up against the cage, which is
dirty
huge,
boxing.
Yeah, well, it's even more than dirty boxing. Just
It's cage controls, grinding,
cage
head
work,
position.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You know, I got good at that early, and if having my back against the cage, reversing the position,
Yeah.
you know, and like a lot of people ignored that fact, and you see people starting to pay attention to that now because, you know, guys like Randy Couture did that for a lifetime, you know, and then even watching him do it in the UFC, people still ignored it. I don't need to learn that.
They still fuck. People still don't do it.
Still
today.
don't do it.
Yeah.
Still don't understand.
No,
it.
I see guys who come to my gym who've trained at other places for years, and then we let them spar, and then they could get held against the cage for 5 straight minutes and not even move.
Never be able to get up off the cage.
No.
Never be able. But if you hear them, they're a Muay Thai specialist. I do the Muay Thai.
I do the
Well, I mean, there is no there is no cage in Muay Thai.
Exactly.
There is clinching.
Yeah. Clinching is totally different
Totally
from cage
different.
control.
Totally different.
Not even in the same ballpark.
So, do you not look back at parts of the amateur fighting as you did like when UFC was just coming up and you have all these different arts and nobody knew anything about cage control, nobody anything knew about BJJ, and everybody went in there and did their own art? I understand that, you know, Fightlab wants to put on a promotion, or all these places want to put on fights that are representative of what MMA truly is and has a true athletes with skill sets. But what about these people that truly just want to break in and, you know, maybe they know how to throw some hands. Maybe they got a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Maybe they've took taekwondo when they were 12 and they just want to see, you know, what they have to offer.
Yeah, what's their avenue?
My advice to anybody who wants to fight would be to find a gym that puts everything together and train there for 12 months and then decide, I want to fight.
Okay.
For MMA, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to fucking train for MMA. Yeah, like people don't realize, like you man, you can be changed.
You can't be one-dimensional anymore.
You can be changed in MMA. You can be changed in MMA practices. Trust me, I know. Because my old team, we were the masters of that shit. You come in our gym, you was getting fucked up. I mean, just no bones about it. We wasn't trying to be nice. Wasn't no damn, like, if you came in, like, you was either a teammate or you was a damn punching bag or dummy. Something for us, a piece of meat for us to try to hurt. And that's just the way we ran the school. I mean, that's why nobody ever came to train with us, I
Well,
guess.
it's nice he's a kindler, gentler bred these
I am a
days.
kindler, gentler. I'm a loving bred dude. Like, you should see, Kevin, you'd be so proud of me if you came in one of my classes.
I was about to talk my wife into coming into your girls-only jiu-jitsu
Yes,
class.
She should.
Well, I don't run that. Nicole runs that.
And
but
Nicole
like,
runs a
I have
great
people to
class.
vouch for me. Like,
It is not
I
a
am
kindler and gentler Nicole, though.
dude. I am such a nice person. I've changed over a new leaf. Like it's man, it's great. Hey, another question, and this is not on the list. Somebody wanted to know on Facebook. They asked who wins in the Great American Forrant fight off.
All right.
He has a brother named Keith.
My brother, I have a twin brother. So people who don't know, I have a twin brother.
Okay.
And he's trains in BJJ and Muay Thai.
Okay.
So he fights as well. So he's had, let's see, I don't know, he's had a lot more Muay Thai fights or kickboxing fights than I have, you know, but not as much MMA fights. And he's got he competed in jiu-jitsu probably 1,000 times, you know, 1,000 matches or whatever. He focused a lot on jiu-jitsu more than I have. And when I started training, my focus was MMA. But so the question, obviously, everyone wants to know who wins two brothers fights. Like
two brothers fight. Who
two
comes
brothers
out?
fight. Who's gonna win? Like always, you see anytime in MMA or anything, you know, like sports, the Williams sisters. You know, what if they played against each other? Who's gonna win? You know, it's always a question. So,
Are you gonna bow down or are you gonna walk away the winner?
I did compete against my brother once in a grappling match.
And what
in a
happened?
tournament? I won.
Oh.
This was a few years ago.
There's your answer right there.
But Keith, if you're watching, he probably
Come down to 3415 Westinghouse Boulevard where we have mats ready to go.
Oh hell no!
he's
Don't
been
come down.
able to. He's been able to focus a lot and on his grappling the last bunch of years and train with some really good grapplers and really focus on improving. The last few years I've been focused on coaching myself and not competing. So he's still competition phase. I'm in coaching phase. If we had to fight tonight, I don't know. I think he would win. Maybe.
There you go.
Probably Keith would win tonight.
So
He just won a fight, right?
He just won. Yeah, we were up in Salamanca, New York for King of the Cage. I brought 2 of my fighters up there.
Yeah.
And it's always a good way to travel when the promotion pays for your gas and hotel.
There you go.
But yeah, so he went up there and he fought for his second pro fight and won. So he's 2-0 as a pro right now.
There you go.
Good for him.
Yeah, so he's a little. We're twins, and I'm 8-5 as a pro. So I started my pro career way before.
Who's older?
He's 9 minutes older than I am.
Oh.
And he looks just like me with no hair. People,
Are you shitting me?
people who don't know us, they're like, "Hey, I seen a picture of you the other day, and you were completely bald." I was like, "Oh no, that was my twin brother." It was like,
Wait.
I thought it was weird that you'd cut your hair off.
How do you have hair and he does not?
I don't know. He just prefers to shave his head. Neither one of us like to pay for a haircut. He just prefers to shave his own head, and I just don't.
You just let it be.
I guess I'm lazier.
Do you have any compliments we used to get about Kevin's hair?
Well, I was.
It's flowing in the wind over there, it looks like.
What is the best place to get good hair?
Asking
for a friend.
Hair. Your mother. Your mother.
Hey, speaking of your mom, speaking of your mom,
Oh, God, I had to pick her up.
speaking of your mom,
We're at your mom's house.
Mama Forrant asked a question.
Oh.
Toss up.
Will Kevin Forrant ever buy his mom a new camper so she can take his kids camping in style this summer? Dude, you should be ashamed of yourself. You didn't buy
Ashamed.
Mama
There
Forrant
is
a
a-
camper.
Yeah.
There's a
Probably-
happy face, like, come on.
Probably
ain't you
not in time
supposed
for
to-
this summer.
Oh.
Not in time for this summer.
Sorry,
not in
Mama.
What are we waiting on, dude? Buy the mom a camper.
Come on.
Dude, you know how much these kids are costing me this year, man? Oh,
Well, she's trying to take them off your hands.
yeah. My son plays hockey and my daughter does hockey and gymnastics.
Okay.
And I tallied up the bill for the next 12 months. It's looking like $15,000 combined.
Yeah.
You need to
Yeah.
tally up the bill for the next 12 years.
Yeah.
Not months, years.
Yeah.
Whew.
It's gonna
They
be-
are expensive.
I'm like, where's this money coming from?
All
Thin
right.
air.
Told my wife that I might have to start fighting again just to make a couple extra dollars.
Well, you
I
got
heard it's a good way to earn some side money.
Yeah. There you go.
my side hustle is MMA
There you
fighting.
go. So, I don't know which direction I should go because
I want to ask one real fast. I just asked one. Never mind.
Yeah, you did.
I want to know what the Roseanne thing was about, though.
Yeah, we need to get into that, but I've got a couple questions that's not on here that I promised some people I would ask.
For a friend.
Well, while you're making a choice, I could.
Why
ask
is
one.
it so hard to get Carl Reed a fight?
Yeah,
You know, I've had
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that reminds me of
Asking for a friend.
a Facebook post I seen again today from somebody who was supposed to fight Carl Reed and decided to disappear the week of the fight.
Oh, he can get it.
Yeah, no. Oh, I'd love to match that fight up again, but
Is that the Charlotte fight?
It's not worth the risk.
Yeah, it's not, the
Yeah.
likelihood of this guy showing up is pretty slim. But yeah, he was a little mad. Carl Reed is he trains with Wonder Boy. He's got
Speaking of, what the happened to Wonder Boy this weekend?
Well, let him finish about the
Yeah.
raid.
Yeah, go
Carl
ahead.
Reed.
Go ahead with Carl.
You know, he's a solid wrestler. I remember I matched Carl Reed's I think first 4 or 5 fights. He fought for an organization that I was matchmaking for early.
Hard
on.
Rock.
Hard play.
Hard play. Hard play.
Yeah. So Carl came down. I hooked up with him, and then he could have jumped ship. Then went over to Michael Allen's Fightlab. But Carl's a good guy. You know, he's he said, "All right, Kev, you got me a fight. Let's keep it rolling."
Yeah.
But I got him a fight. He fought Joey McPeak his first fight, and Joey McPeak fought with Charles Hannibreak down in Rock Hill.
Yep.
And he was combat jiu-jitsu black belt.
Oh
And,
wow.
Joey's really tough guy, and highly skilled, and I could beat up anybody. I'm that good. And we brought Carl Reed in, and Carl Reed won that fight. It was a good fight, but I don't think Joey prepared for it. I think he thought his skill set was going to win the fight, and didn't prepare for it. But Carl won that fight, and then he fights Keats guy. the one who broke his jaw? Why am I drawing
Avery.
a blank? Avery, yeah. That was I think a 3-round war that went to decision. You know, nearly knocked Avery out, and then he fights another guy from Boone and knocks him out in like 2 seconds. I mean, in every match you see Carl's striking get better and better
That's
and
awesome.
better and better because he's training down there with the Thompsons. You know, working his striking. He's already a great wrestler. You know, he's working on his jiu-jitsu, his submission skill set. You know, and he's just an athletic freak, as Cornbread has mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, I wouldn't want to fight him.
No. No, and I've tried to explain that to Carl, too. I was like, man, people's not exactly filling out applications by the dozens to take a fight with you.
A guy in my gym, Roger Pratcher, was as an amateur wanted to fight Carl. You know, he fights at 185 and is like, Carl Reed. You know, he's like, Roger wants a challenge. I think he was like 6-1, 7-1, or 8-1 as an amateur, and he's like, I want to fight Carl Reed.
And Roger's a tough guy.
Yeah.
He's a very tough guy.
And I would have been happy to match that up as an amateur fight because as an amateur fight, I want my guys to fight the toughest out there. I want them to test themselves. But when you're pro, you know, things change a little bit. You need to build a resume.
Got to be more systematic.
Yeah. You know, so, you know, and Roger would gladly step in and fight him right now. You know, but I'm like, oh, wait a minute. This is, you know, way too tough of a fight for your second pro fight.
Well, now no. Wait a minute. I mean, Roger's a tough guy, man,
The
and
brakes on there.
I feel like, you know, that's a
it's up a weight class for my guy.
well, that doesn't matter all the time, man.
But just as much as you've talked about Carl and where he should be at in his career right now.
Yes. What?
You think that's a fair fight?
Yes, we outweigh him by 30 pounds.
Huh?
More than a fucking fair fight.
Are you gonna,
What?
you gonna fight at the 30-pound difference?
I didn't say we fight a 30-pound difference. I said Kevin's guy, we're 30 pounds bigger than him. So on my end, that's a fair fight. I'm trying to damn work some shit out here, man. You guys are kidding. When is Roger fighting again?
Well, he took some time off, but he's back in the gym now training. So I mean,
God, he's a beast. Have you seen him?
Yes.
He's a good fighter, man. I like that kid.
185 pounds, and this guy is
Solid.
as strong,
Solid hands.
as strong as anyone.
What is his background? Is he like a cowboy, or did he grow up on a farm or something?
Is he from Iowa?
Yeah, I mean,
his mom is German, and his dad
Well,
was in the Army or Air Force.
Okay.
He was overseas in Germany. He met his Roger's mom, and they moved back to the U.S. But he is like a mutant. We don't even have a nickname for him because we can't think of a proper one that really goes with Roger.
the mutant. There it is. The mutant.
Yeah, but he is so strong, it's ridiculous. You know, and at 185, you know, it's really, really tough to beat him. But when you move up to 205 and fight a guy like Carl, I would.
How much does Roger walk around at?
When he's in shape?
Yeah.
Usually like 205, 210. Like when he's in shape. Right now he's
way smaller than Carl. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Fucking
a little out
Carl.
of shape. He's a little out of shape.
Carl walks around what, 230?
230. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cuts from 230. You know, so speaking of your guys, man, you got some. Is Tony Tan still training?
He actually helps teach at the gym. He's
He's teaching now. Okay.
retired fighter. like
Yeah.
myself.
Tony Tan.
And he's got
Tony
the
Tan.
itch.
An old
Got
school
the
name
itch.
right there.
He's got the itch all
He
the
wants to
time.
get back in there, don't he?
Always,
I know he
always.
does.
Yeah.
Tony, man. Tony's another guy. He stepped in there for us a lot of times to Fightlab. Yeah.
But he wasn't with Heiston. He was with.
No, he was with
No, he was
Heiston.
always Heiston. Brad
Always
Geyer.
Heiston.
Brad Geyer.
Always.
Undefeated as
Was
amateur
it?
and a pro now. Yeah.
Was it Heiston or was it when you got? Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, Tony Tan's always trained with us. He started training probably about a year before I started training with Paul.
Really?
About a year before I started training.
He was there before you?
Yep.
So what took him so long to get into it? Because he started fighting after
He
you.
started fighting. Yeah, he started fighting when I turned pro. So I fought 13 times as an amateur, and he's like, "Oh, if Kevin could do this, I could do this too."
It was like delay or something. Yeah.
I think, for me it was desire. I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
And I guess I had the confidence, or maybe not I just
Yeah.
knew I wanted to do it, and I wasn't afraid of it. And
Yeah.
Tony always wanted to do it, but I don't think he had the confidence to do it until someone else did it and showed that it could be done.
Right.
And now he's like, oh man.
So who
And
else you guys got down there?
Amateur Josh Motzinger is a freak.
Yeah, he moved, right?
He's temporarily moved down to Charleston, so
Okay.
he's down there for the summer working.
Okay.
He'll be back in September.
Okay.
Let's see. Brian Battle is up and coming amateur.
Okay.
He's 5-1.
That's a
as an
sweet
amateur.
last name.
That's a
Sorry,
good
I just
name.
inter-
I can't find him a fight now. He's 5-1. He fought Schofield on the last Fight Lab card.
Okay.
And I think he was 3-1 at the time. And Schofield, tough, one of the best 85ers or two. I think it was a 205 that fight. He just moved down to 185. So I'll challenge anybody. Anybody within
put it out
driving
there.
distance, anyone within driving distance from Charlotte to
All
come and
right.
fight Brian Battle on June 22nd. I'll match that up at 185.
So why do you think it's hard to find him somebody?
People want you look at the rankings. So
Yep.
it's really hard to find rankings for amateurs, but there's a site called Tapology, and you could go out there and find they have a ranking system, and you find all the guys in the Southeast, and they define the Southeast as Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, and I think Virginia's in there as well. So that's the Southeast, and you
Okay.
find anybody in the top 10. There are 6-0, 7-0, 8-1, but you look at their records, and they fought guys filled 0-1, 1-1, 0-3.
Okay, so
3-4.
nobody of substance, really.
So they
just
don't
like
want to
moving
fight.
'em up.
Yeah, they got an amateur record, but they don't fight anybody. You
Mm-hmm.
know, even at 9-1, their 10th fight is against a guy who's 3-4.
Yeah, it's not
and
even.
these stupid promotions will put him in a title fight against a guy who's 2-4 or 2-5 for a title. I'm like, are you a champion?
Yeah.
If you beat a guy with a losing record,
Right.
can you call yourself? You got this belt and you can show it off to all your friends.
Yeah,
but are
yeah,
you
yeah.
a champion?
Hey,
Yeah.
speaking of champions, you've got Taco.
Taco, yeah, Brian.
Yeah,
Bullock.
Brian
Taco,
Bullock. He's
yeah.
he's a
That's his nickname?
Taco. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've
Child-
always known him as Taco.
That's
Child-
one of the best.
Fuck, I thought that was his name for the longest time.
That is one of the best random nicknames, and I've known so many people with that
Yeah.
nickname.
It's a
of Taco.
random
It's,
nickname.
it's
A
good.
childhood nickname.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's actually man, 7-1 since he's joined Highstan. So he's one of the best 135ers in the area too.
He's 135.
135.
And when's he going to turn pro? Because he has to be. I mean, when I knew him, that was 5. I mean, he's got to be at least 27, 28 years old
No,
now.
I think he's still only like 23.
No.
25. I think he's 25 years old.
Really?
Yeah, he's young still.
No.
He'll be turning pro. He'll turn pro within the next 12 months.
the next 12 months.
Yeah, I think 3 fights max. If he's got 10 wins, there's no reason to go. Keep
Yeah.
fighting amateur.
So I got a friend
Yeah.
that wants me to ask you a question about Taco.
All right.
He said he has a wonderful idea for a pro debut for Taco.
Yeah. Who would that be?
Taco versus Ken Crowder.
Ah. I like that one.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Is that Phil?
What do you think about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. I like.
I
that.
can't give any names.
Oh.
I can only just. I'm the messenger. I am the messenger of righteousness. Hey, I like that. Can we get that as a plaque too?
That's a T-shirt.
We got to put. we still haven't even done
We haven't
boots
even
to
done-
asses.
Secretary
So we
of-
can't even.
Where's my
Boots.
Secretary of Boots to Asses plaque?
We can't add
I'm
a
working on it
secondary
with the
one.
business cards.
Okay. Well, after we get the Secretary of Boots to Asses, can we get one here that says the messenger of righteousness?
I'm just gonna get you one that you can flip. It's like a triangle.
Oh, that's.
And whatever you want to be that minute.
Do you have cool shit like that at your office?
No, just please
No.
have it play music though when it flips. So he's got to have some like very holy
Rocky Top.
sounding. No.
Yes.
Uh-uh.
You know, September 1st they play West Virginia at Bank of America Stadium.
If we could just make like a.
Are you going?
I hope so. I would love it if like one of my students who's like really close friends with my wife would like talk her into maybe buying me some tickets.
That's fine. I'm here, and I'm here to support the family.
Like,
Oh,
like,
hell.
like a nice pair of underwear. She's here to
Yeah.
support.
Well, hold on. Okay. Speaking of support, we got to support my friend here.
Okay.
We've got the Fightlab matchmaker.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here in the building.
Yep.
We do.
The master of cool.
Master of
Kevin
cool.
Forrant, the master of matches, Kevin Forrant, the master of fighters, Kevin Forrant. He has an awesome 135-pound champion that happens to be the champion of his fight promotion, Fight Lab, who happens to train at his gym, Hyaston, and he's sitting here with me, Michael D. Allen, the man who gave him the name Master of Cool, and technically he owes me a favor. Yes, Lord Jesus, hallelujah! And I'd like to turn that favor over to my friend. I'd like to give my favor to my friend who has Kenneth the Pit Crowder, who would like the pro debut versus Taco. I feel like this is only right.
I'm really only clapping the bill.
And we're not
there.
putting you on the spot.
No.
Like we don't. I mean, like
we're putting you on the spot.
Yeah, okay, we are.
A 10.
I like Ken. I like Ken a lot. You know, he trained with Heiston for a little bit.
Yeah, so see, there you go. You know all his weaknesses. You just book the fight, beat him up, take his money. Fuck it.
I like Phil. I like
Fuck
Phil.
it. Yeah.
I think my problem is I like too many people.
No, don't like them. Fuck them.
There's not too many people I don't like.
The hell with those guys,
But-
man. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, when Taco
Don't like him,
when
fuck
he's
him.
ready to turn pro,
Yeah, Crowder will be the first one on the list.
I'm okay with that. 100% as the manager for Taco, I'm okay.
You're
with
the man.
that.
So we can. It's fuck. It's on YouTube.
It's
anyway.
on YouTube. This
We
is,
got it on video.
It is on video.
We got it on video. Big Phil.
Big Phil.
FEEE triple EL.
Big
You
Phil,
gotta-
call Michael's phone right now.
Kevin said yes.
Where'd my warm beer go?
135 pounds. Taco versus the Pit. Man, that sounds like a bad
That
like
sounds-
movie.
Ooh,
That's a good opening pro bout. On a
Taco
Fightlab card.
versus the Pit. Ugh, that don't even sound good.
Nah.
Like you can't even announce that right.
Taco's a gay name, but
It is, dude. That's a weak name, man. I remember introducing him in Fight Lab, and I was like thinking to myself, "What the fuck am I up here doing?"
Taco.
Taco. But man, he's come a long way, dude. He's improved
Yes.
tremendously. You guys done a great job with him.
thank you.
So we're getting close to the end, and I'm trying to figure out what in the heck else I was supposed to have asked you, because
Well,
What about Roseanne?
there's a pretty
Oh.
pretty big one though.
What?
About the transition?
oh no, but that's not as bad. We got to drop that one because number 4 is
That's like 5 questions in one.
awesome. Why are you so anti-dramatic? Why don't you want to dive into the good
I
shit?
do, but then you guys just stare at me because I go off on a rant for like 5 minutes and I sound like I'm just some serious crazy person because I'm like, let's talk about morals and people, society.
Okay.
No one wants to hear that shit.
I tell you what. You ask the question. Ask number 4. Go
Okay. I could do that.
You know, it's funny. I don't even know what the fuck number 4 is really talking about, but we're gonna take it into what we want. So go ahead.
I have no idea either.
So if Roseanne got fired, why didn't Bill Maher, since he did the same thing?
Do you even know who Bill Maher is?
Yeah, I'm a
Is that the science guy?
No, that's
Don't you
that's,
think-
that's Bill Nye.
Oh. Am I way off?
Yes,
Who the fuck is Bill?
he's got
Are
the.
they serious?
He's got an HBO show.
He's
I
got an
believe,
HBO show. Yeah,
Super liberal. guy.
real time with Bill Maher.
And who's the guy? Who's the guy I'm talking about?
Bill Nye, the science
Bill
guy.
Nye, the science guy.
Yeah, that's
he's, on,
it.
he's on WBTV. I think.
Pretty much taught like everyone's children science.
Okay, so Bill Maher, he's
HBO.
Mayor.
HBO. Okay.
Bill Maher.
Mar.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, so go ahead,
Mar-
Kevin.
Why did Roseanne get fired?
You don't know?
Her salacious tweet.
Her tweet, yeah.
So
The
why
fact
did
that we're using the word tweet to fire people is my first point. Like, are you
That is a
fucking kidding
problem.
me?
That is really a
Like,
problem.
we're all
What did,
stuck on the fact of 120 characters.
What did Bill do?
what did Bill
What
do?
did Bill not do?
What did
Right.
Bill say? Does anybody know what Bill said?
I mean,
Fine,
Bill,
specifically.
Bill said everything under the sun.
I know. It's like, what do you want?
It's like, what hasn't he said?
But it says Bill. It said Bill did the same thing.
I don't even know the connotations about the tweet that Roseanne sent, though.
Roseanne said that the
Valerie
senator-
Jarrett.
Yeah, was the bad part. It was Planet of the Apes. It was Muslim Brotherhood plus the Planet
Plus
of the
Planet
Apes,
said she looked like a cross between. Or,
which looks like it, or she was born from them. Like that was.
is that what she said?
Yeah, I guess so.
Look.
But-
If I wake up in the morning and just say, apologize ahead of time for all my racist comments. I took some.
Oh,
I took some
okay.
Advil.
Took some Ambien tonight.
So
That's what she said. Said she took some Ambien.
I guess what they're comparing is like, Bill said he compared Donald Trump to an
Oh,
ape.
orangutan. All right.
Oh, boo!
I remember seeing
Who
that
the
now,
fuck asked
yeah.
that question? Do you
Because
know?
orangutans
They're
are
banned from one show for asking questions.
Yeah. Whoever asked that question, you don't get to ask no more questions for one show. You're banned.
Banned.
Like you go sit in the corner. Okay.
All right. Well,
So-
first, when you're a liberal, you're the moral police, so you get to make all the rules when it comes to that. But second, when it comes to racism, number one, you can't, call black people apes or
Yeah, that's just common fucking sense.
It,
Yeah.
It's just common sense.
Yeah.
Like even as a joke, it's just not a funny joke. You
Yeah.
know?
It's-
It's stupid. So you should have been smarter. I guess if she was on Ambien or whatever, her judgment was impaired.
If she was on Ambien, she shouldn't be around something that she can project herself to everybody.
Yeah, but you don't know what you're doing.
This only happened like when Twitter came out.
I would have said like, "Oh, sorry guys, I had 6 beers tonight or 12 beers."
Yeah.
That's what that would have been. No, I guess I couldn't say that because
You said some stuff. You done some things.
And then I just. But you know what's really disturbing about this? So she had just gotten the new Roseanne show, right?
Yeah,
With
just-
Yeah,
ABC.
she got the
And
reboot.
I've heard some good things about that show. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
and from what I understand, the reason ABC sort of gave the show was because they felt like maybe the red state population, the conservative, didn't have like a voice in on sitcoms and
Because they
prime time.
they all keep getting fired.
Well, there you go. But so I I'm sitting there thinking to myself, man, you made a fucking tweet and lost how many millions of dollars? You couldn't have had any more self-control
Not even for
than to
yourself,
shut your
though.
Well,
fucking
she's done
mouth.
this before.
Selfish too.
Yeah, but it never cost her.
I never liked Roseanne as a person.
I didn't either.
Ever since
Yeah.
the national anthem,
That
where
pissed
she
me off,
grabbed
yeah.
her crotch. Like I thought that was so
Yeah.
disrespectful.
And you know what's fucking funny though?
And
Is-
I was only a kid back then.
Yeah, I remember too. But here's the funny part. So, since in America everybody thinks fucking like we're like all fucking retarded now. Everybody thinks left, right, conservative, liberal, Democrat, Republican. Nobody can think for their fucking self. But so let's just break it back down to this left, right, conservative, liberal, Democrat, Republican thought process. Like we're all fucking retards. But the funny thing is when Roseanne did the national anthem bullshit.
Oh God.
The conservative Republican right side was the side that was blasting her the strongest by far.
Well, you would think that though too, though.
But now she makes this racist fucking tweet,
and it's totally
and
opposite.
the
it's the
conservative
opposite
Republican right side is the side that when I make the fucking post, they're all the fucking ones going on there going, oh well, such and such did this, or the people on the View don't get fired, or blah 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 blah. And it's just so fucking, you know what? It's just amazing to me. Nobody can think for them fucking selves. Nobody can use common fucking sense. Like, if you're the most racist, David Duke, the most racist motherfucker in the world, has enough damn sense not to go and tweet some shit like that if he had a fucking $1 million deal with fucking ABC. I guarantee you, he wouldn't do it for the sake of losing the $1 million fucking dollars and losing that forum to get out there and project his ignorant ass ideas to a larger fucking audience. She's an idiot.
But it wasn't even a funny joke,
And
though.
it's not
Yeah.
even a funny fucking
Like,
joke.
you
Like, why
could-
would you say that?
Like you could make fun of stereotypes, like so many different
Yeah.
stereotypes, all you
Yeah.
want, and
Yeah.
have fun with it and be funny with it.
Yeah.
But just to refer to somebody as an ape or looking like an ape is like the stupidest thing ever.
The dumbest thing in the world.
But this is like the same reason that like guys like George Carlin and Richard Pryor would never make it as comedians today.
No, but they didn't have stupid jokes though. Like
But they didn't. But they had on point jokes that were aimed at certain factions of society that spoke the truth.
Yeah, but let's just be honest here. Let's,
Why wouldn't they make it today? I think they'd make it more today because we're more divided.
No.
Richard Pryor, man.
Richard Pryor would
never make-
Richard Pryor could have said that on Twitter, and nobody would have said fucking
No,
word.
they'd be like, oh, okay.
Nobody would have said anything.
Yeah.
Let's just
Well,
be
Richard
honest
Pryor-
here. Let's just be honest here. Let's just be honest here. In the year 2018, this is where we're at.
You're saying because of the because it's him that said it because of
Yeah.
the color of the connotation of the joke.
Because he's black.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
If I said what fucking Roseanne Barr said, and I said it to my black friends, nobody's gonna fucking say a word. If Kevin says it, everybody's gonna fucking go get the fucking pitchforks and the goddamn stakes, and everybody's gonna try to kill him. I mean, this is common fucking
do
sense.
you honestly
Right.
think it's because we don't have the ability to have conversations about things that are tough?
Yes.
And so people don't have thick skins anymore to be able to handle stuff that really it could roll off your back because it's a comment?
Well, it's that people don't have thick skins to let comments roll off their back, but
Yeah.
also people don't have common fucking sense.
And they're ignorant.
Again, why would you even say that? It's like the dude that says, well, I don't understand why black people can say the N-word and I can't. You ignorant fuck. What, do you want to say it? Because that's what you're saying when you say
like,
that.
I don't even ask that question. I don't care.
Don't even ask the fucking
don't
question.
even
That's a
care.
stupid question to ask.
Like there, you could use stereotypes and be funny. Like if I would have came in here and brought Cornbread a gift and got him some KFC,
Yeah.
he would have
Yeah.
laughed.
I would fucking laugh, but me
Yeah.
and Kevin are fucking friends.
But if I called him in and said, "Hey, why can't I use the N-word on you?"
yeah.
He's gonna be like, "What are you, an idiot?"
There
you
is-
What are
there
you,
is-
fucking
Podcast
moron?
is
I think
over.
we talked about this like on our third podcast though. It's
Yeah.
so funny about that utterations of words can be so offensive.
Yeah.
And it's just a word.
Yeah, but it's amplified over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
It is
It really
amplified. It is amplified over the last 3 years.
But it's literally just vowels and syllables
It is,
put
but
together.
everybody's finding something to be upset about,
Yeah.
and everybody's finding something to
Yeah.
get behind.
Well, to be more divisive, they want to divide everything. So
Yes.
on both
Well,
sides,
that
too,
is true.
Like
That
on
is
both
definitely
sides
true.
too. It's not you can't blame the left or the right
Nah.
because you got your
It's
diehard
both.
liberals
It's
both.
who are going to get mad at
Either
the other
way.
side,
Yep.
no matter what they say, and the same thing for
Yep.
the conservatives.
That's
you know?
right.
Yep.
This whole kneeling at the national anthem thing. You
Yeah.
know, everyone wants to take a stance and then dig in, and instead of talking about things,
Yep.
Yeah.
and trying to understand.
Well, it's easier to feel like you're the expert or you have something to give to everybody else, I feel like, because it makes you more valued. It makes it seem like you are more, I don't know, I'm trying to think of the word. You're more revered, I guess. And I think like we're in this society where we continuously have this, we have to put ourselves out there and build our social reputation. And it just kind of skews the fact that you can have a normal conversation and you don't have to progress your agenda in everything that you do. So
And I want to say that is the prime reason that people have these podcasts is because these turn into conversations among friends and people can talk about these issues, and it's not putting yourself on a pedestal. It's about getting 4 people in a room and talking about something
Well,
together that most people would not talk about on a. I mean, this is a national platform. It's eventually gonna, anybody can see this.
this is it. Well, it's long form too. You think about all the ones when it started, it was just a subject or, we're just going to talk about these stories. And now they're having the long form conversation to let it be something that we're all used to, that we used to be able to do.
You know what food for thought that really drives me up the flipping wall? I mean, just grabs my fucking gourd. That's a Haywood County word, by the way, gourd.
Gourd.
Okay. So people get offended and actually pay attention to ignorance like Roseanne Barr. People get offended and 4 years after the fact will get offended and come on my Facebook and go to war over Hillary Clinton. But nobody raises the same amount of hell when people disrespect our soldiers or our flag. I see people fucking burning the flag, shitting on the flag, just tearing the flag up, talking shit about our soldiers, talking shit about, there's people around the world that literally want to kill Americans. Americans. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck if you're black, red, white, green, purple, blue, polka dotted, Christian, Muslim, and they don't care. They don't care. They nobody. I say it all the time. Nobody radioed in or them people flying them planes into the Twin Towers. Nobody called in and said, "Okay, all the blacks get out."
But it's just another form of division, though.
Yeah.
No, it's like nationalism is another form of division.
It's tribalism. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So in the U.S. we have the left, the right, conservative, the liberals. In the world we have the U.S.,
Russia.
and their allies, and we got and the other, North Korea. We got their enemy, Iran, Russia. So it's just another form of division.
Yeah. But is it not weird? I mean, you don't see the same passion here in the States. It seems like I remember growing up, and everybody wanted to be fucking Rambo.
Mm-hmm.
Going into Vietnam and killing.
I mean,
King Kong.
everybody wanted to be Rambo.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be Red Dawn. Everybody wanted to be a soldier. Everybody
Red
wanted to play
Dawn.
war.
Such a
Everybody,
great movie.
you know, everybody. It meant something seriously to be fucking American.
Yeah, well, what if you were Vietnamese?
Yeah.
Well, hey,
that's
man.
a good, hey.
Well,
that's
you
good
know, we never
counterpoint.
had any Vietnamese in Clyde, but we would have let them play. They could have just been the Vietnamese. I mean, we would have been chasing them through the fucking neighborhood. I mean, I don't know. My point is, no one. It's weird. I'm just saying. I remember.
I'd be
not
quick,
not even 30 years ago, but 10 years ago.
I'd be quick to challenge you about the no one, because think about what you.
Not as many.
Yeah, well, just think about what you're subjected to when you log in, right? And you're finding all of these influence feeds coming back to you. Your feed is tailored to you, right? So if you're not
That's a good
really
point.
talking to a lot of people, or you're not really interacting with a lot of people who have that as their value set, it's not necessarily that they don't have it. It's just not presented to you. So in your mind, you're going to accept like maybe that's not a norm. It could be. We just might be in a pocket where there's not a lot of people that.
But we're talking about my feed, and my feed
Your
is
feed is-
tailored to me, and my feed like has people who are offended over every fucking thing. Like, my feed's like
Lying
fucked
to
up. Like Facebook loses sleep over my feed. They're like, what the fuck do we do?
People just want to be offended these days.
They
Like,
do.
how do
Yes.
Because we don't have anything to contend with. We don't have anything happening to us as a general population that we have to get together and get behind and solve. And that's why I'm going to circle it back. That's why freaking fighting and MMA and anything combative is good for people to get out there and have something to contend with.
So you agree with me that the reason people get offended and bitch so much is because nobody gets the shit slapped out of them anymore?
Hey, now I used to get beat up by the neighborhood. If
Yeah,
I did
you
something
used to.
stupid
Yeah,
2 houses down.
No, seriously, you used to. But now people.
No,
now
you can't do any of that anymore.
I'm serious. Like I had a dude come on my that post about Hillary Clinton, and this dude couldn't fight his way out of a fruit fight.
JB.
But
And
it's easy
yeah.
to be anonymous online.
Well, no,
because
this
you're
dude's
safe.
not
No,
anonymous.
they got
Like
Well, I'm
guys out
saying
there.
you're
Like-
safe.
But
Right.
that's these people, and there's a lot of them on my Facebook feed.
Yeah.
They will argue their side no matter what, and they'll never see the other side.
Because they don't want to. It's
They don't.
hard.
That's what I'm saying. But I got countless friends, and I'll name them off. You know, you got on both sides, left and right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
Josh Marshall.
yeah,
You know, big time conservative. You know, Tony Rogers, big time liberal.
yeah.
You know, Joel Brock.
Yeah.
You know, these guys, and they go on there and they only argue their side, and because they need to prove a point, and they don't want to look and consider, you know, what other people are thinking or try to compromise. You know, me, I'm always a moderate guy.
Yeah.
You know, and when politics, you guys got the hard left, the hard right, and then you got most people. You know, a lot of people are moderate, but the people
Yeah.
who get the attention,
Or
everyone
the-
who gets
the
the
hardliners,
attention,
yeah.
hardliners, they get the attention.
I do think it's probably going to the fact that you develop your psyche, you develop what responds to you, right? So it's really, really hard, not to say it's an excuse, but I think it's really hard for somebody to try and get outside of the groove they've created in the opinions that they have or the lifestyle that they lead, because then it would challenge them to have to think a little bit more. And I'm not saying that people are ignorant. I'm not saying that people
Yeah, I said
are
that. You're right.
lazy.
You don't need to say
No,
that.
I'm
but
not gonna
I'll
say
say
that,
people,
but I'm
people are
saying-
ignorant.
I think it's really tough to find something that really disrupts your base, right?
Right.
And if some people, it's like the fervent, you know, backing of a sports team, which I still don't freaking understand, but and then everything else that we have that defines us. You start to break away your base. That person's going to become a little bit unstable. It's not an excuse, but it kind of is kind of a way to understand why people are always going to just fight that fight, you know, on that right or left, whatever they decide. It fits them, it fits their community, it fits their lifestyle, it's maybe how they're
It
raised.
fits their
it's-
bubble.
Because, like, how do you raise, if there's a child, and I'm just saying specifically in a situation of race, if there's a child raised in a family that specifically was racist, we're going to go white to black, right? Their family was racist against blacks, and they were raised their whole entire life. What's going to be the catalyst to get them to change their ideal if that's what they saw their whole entire life? Unless there's something inside of them that wants to be open-minded. And that first step is the hardest thing, to get past what they know, because it's safe, right?
Yeah.
It defined them for so long. So
Right.
how do we address that, if that's even a thing?
Anyone? You too?
There's no, the battery is dying.
The kids keep turning
I mean,
it
it's
on
a
during
good.
class.
Look, I mean, I totally agree. Unless you have opposing points of view that are put against you while you're growing up,
or you're even open-minded to hear.
Or you're correct. Even if you're, how do you teach open-mindedness?
Yeah. Where does that start?
Yeah, exactly.
We have indoctrination in a way of how we educate our children, and I mean, we can go down a path for that, but I feel like there's just so much thrown out there that they don't have a choice, and that's what they hear, and then if it's backed up by the family, it's like, well, why would I change? This is my niche. This is how I am. This is what I know. I'm not going to fight and make my brain hurt.
And that's why you still have people in 2018 that are wearing white hoods and burning crosses.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I can't speak on that. I haven't seen a white hood and burning cross since I left Haywood County.
This is the.
I've never seen one.
I have.
Yeah, not me.
Unfortunately,
I mean, it's
fuckers.
What was that church in Florida that went around protesting all of
Westboro?
Westboro. I mean, this is the same reason why you have the
We'll talk about-
Westboro Baptist churches.
Well, and then if you ask them their agenda, they will tell you legitimately and clearly in their brains that it is the message of the
God.
Lord. And you see
And
in
they
their-
firmly believe it.
they do.
And you will not change their minds.
No, that's a totally different ball of wax,
It is.
though. Because man, when
But it's an extreme example.
It's an extreme example, but it's the
yeah,
same
but man, when somebody
thing.
says God, that man, that's a wrap.
But don't you think the people in White Hood said that?
No, they don't.
It was originally a men's club.
They don't.
Originally a men's club. And then it turned into something when it was pushed underground.
Yeah,
Just
they
to
don't-
get away from the
I
wife.
mean, they do it a little bit,
hang
but
out.
that not like what you're talking about. Like them fuckers, man. Those are just ignorant fucks, man. Anybody dumb enough to walk around with a fucking pillowcase on their head, he's like a really fucking ignorant person.
Like, I think racism is just stupid.
Is
On
it not
either side.
stupid?
It's- on either side, it's
You
just
have a
stupid.
little bit more pigment in your skin than somebody else. Like, it's like, what is it?
Yeah, but
I'll give you me for an example.
it goes on both sides, you know. And people.
When you put it that way, it absolutely makes no fucking sense.
The problem, though, is people are, like you were saying, they're not exposed to things. Like,
Yeah.
so, you know, white people get mad because of white privilege. They don't like hearing that word because that makes them think, oh, you got an easy life because you're white.
Yeah, but what is this mystical white privilege?
I don't
Like,
know.
what?
That's
Can
the-
you give me the
That's
boundaries
the
of that?
easy thing black people could say to say why you're, you know, better
Yep.
than. But there is some truth to it, though.
Yeah.
When you look at,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, in the U.S., you know, slavery, you know, and then I'm watching a show on AMC.
Yeah.
It's based just after the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this is just a few hundred years ago. You know, right after slaves were freed. You know, but this is just a couple hundred years ago.
150 years ago, man.
Yeah.
That's a blink.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but nowadays, people like me growing up, I had a tough life in my
Yeah.
vision. I define a tough life as in I had two parents that stayed together, and they had to work hard. Both parents worked hard, and we, you know, were lower middle class. You know,
Yeah.
that's a tough. But there's, you know, lower than that. You know,
Yeah.
there's lower class. But growing up lower middle class was tough. You know, so. You know, and me, I'm open-minded, but other people, when they say, "Oh, you're white privileged. You have this because you're white," you know, I'm like, "No, I don't. I have this because I worked hard." You know, they don't want to hear that you got something because it was given to you. People don't want to hear that.
No, because
You
they
know-
immediately think about themselves, and
Yeah.
they can't get past the simple fact that maybe you could have a conversation to expand on that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing
'Cause it's
on
a
both
challenge.
sides. So it's about talking, though. So
It
I need
is.
to tell, like, someone who says, "Oh, you're lucky." Yeah, I am lucky, but I also had to work hard, and
Yeah.
I have to tell someone, you know, that I did have to work hard. I have to tell someone that we had Kraft mac and cheese was my dinner 7 days a week. You know, we had
Yeah.
5 kids in my house. We had hot dogs and mac and cheese was our dinner.
Yeah.
You know, we, 2-income family. But, you know, I had to come home and do my homework, and nobody had to sit over my shoulder and tell me to do my homework. I had to do it. My sister, my older sister, helped us out, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but we had struggles, you know, and people have to understand on both sides that there's struggles everywhere. You know, my struggles are different than your struggles, but they're still struggles. You know, even people who are, you know, upper middle class, I'm sure they got struggles that I don't
Everybody
understand.
does.
Yeah, everybody does.
You know,
But-
so we have to understand each other's struggles, you know, and they're not the same. They're different, you know, but people have struggles, and we need to come together and work, you know, to overcome and discuss and
No, your
conversate.
your wife is Hispanic,
Yeah,
correct?
she was born in Ecuador, South America.
Okay. Have you ever encountered racism with being married to her?
No.
No, you've been fortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I don't experience much racism no matter who I'm hanging out. My brother's married to a black woman.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna kill the YouTube stream just because we're getting low, but we're gonna carry this over to the rest of the podcast. So you guys on YouTube have to listen to the rest of
You have to
this.
listen to
Listen
the
to
rest.
listen to the rest of this on the podcast.
But before we go, I have a present for you guys watching.
We're not done. Oh,
Oh, bye. I'll do
see you on
another one.
SoundCloud or YouTube or